honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair.
Denver's refrigerator.
To Westside Warriors football here on Tubetown. It is good to have you with us once again. Hey, we missed you folks after a couple of weeks off, a scheduled bye week plus the cancellation due to COVID. I'm Blake Gwynn alongside Alex Galbraith. It's good to have you with us once again as the Warriors have traveled to Truman. Alex, good atmosphere, good crowd, and we're glad to be back at it, buddy.
We're thrilled to be back here, man. Perfect weather, too. Let's add that in there as well.
Perfect weather. Absolutely perfect weather. Got a little sunset off in the distance, and we got football coming your way. Set the stage a little bit for you. Truman coming into this game 2-1, a win against Harrisburg, shutout win against Harrisburg. They did lose on the road at Southside 50-14, and then defeated Paragould at home 42-8 here in this building for a 2-1 record. And Westside is 0-2, a loss to Greene County Tech, and then kind of a difficult but close loss at home against Brooklyn. And, of course, their game at Hoxie was canceled, so they are 0-2 on the season.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Westside kind of responds. 0-2, desperate for a win, haven't played in a few weeks. Now, what do they look like out here in a hostile Truman environment? Absolutely.
This Truman crowd is always rowdy, and they are ready to roll. We are set for the opening kickoff here in Truman at the 3-4A opener for both of these teams. Looks like to kick off, we've got Dustin Wright. Short kick at the 20, so a good opportunity there for the Warriors, but he stopped quickly, and the drive will start at the 30. That was Caleb Mueller on the opening kickoff return.
So once again, a big opening drive for Westside here. We know, Blake and I know the style of offense that the Warriors want to run. It's that power offense. They're going to ground and pound. They're not going to see the ball thrown very much here. And not all defenses are able to stop that. We saw Greene County Tech a few weeks ago, about a month ago, were able to stop that extremely well. Brooklyn did it, held them to 12 points, but not nearly as good as Greene County Tech. So it'll be interesting to see how Truman's defense holds here.
Not one to throw the ball. They'll be in the power I the majority of the night. Yerda is under center for. That's not Yerda under center, is it? Colton Carter is under center for the Warriors. Try to get you some information on that one. We are in the power I, as I mentioned, with the change under center at quarterback. So we'll try to get you a little more info on that. Carter hands it off up the middle to Darvin Fowler. Gets about 5 yards. We're to the 35. Good start. That's exactly what they want to get started, Alex.
When you run the ball like that and you run this type of offense, you've got to be able to get what we call positive plays. And that's usually anywhere from 3 to 5 yards per play. Perfect start for Westside. Nothing flashy, but moving the ball methodically.
And that's what they want to do. You know, it's not going to be huge gains a lot of times for them, but if they can pick up 3 to 5 each time, they're ahead of the chains. And they're in a good spot on second down. Carter back under center again in the I formation. Have one receiver out to the right. That's Montana Neely, but they hand it off up the middle. And that is short gain.
That's not the positive play you want. It looks like he stumbled in the backfield a little bit, wasn't even touched. But the exchange, the start just wasn't very promising for the Warriors there. And that's going to bring about 3rd and 5. And again, those tough down situations right there in the middle, 3rd and short, that you've got to be able to convert if you're Westside. Because again, this is a team that likes to dominate the time of possession. And if you're Westside, you're trying to keep this Truman offense off the field as long as you can.
And seeing a couple of guys come out here to start this game that we have not seen. Some sophomores, Cameron Hedger not out there on the field either. So we got a pass over the top by Carter. And, man, if he'd have found his man, that would have been tough to stop.
That was just kind of a bad throw right there by, again, by Colton Carter. Again, surprised that Gus Yerda's not out there on the field tonight. But, you know, we had his man on the quick slant, had the separation, but threw it a little too high and a little wobbly too. Not the kind of start you want there. And got to see better passes if they're actually going to start throwing the ball.
It looks like Yerda will come out to punt. So he is clearly available for tonight's game. You always wonder when you don't see somebody with quarantine protocols and things what's going on, but you are seeing to open this game. Hedger was out there as well on blocking for the punt. The punt is a short punt. It is picked up at about the 37, so a quick 3 and out for Westside. Not sure what that's all about, but it is good to see that those guys are available, and Truman will start their first drive in decent field position.
You know, I'm more surprised not to see Cameron Hedger out there, the star running back for the Warriors. I guess Yorda, obviously, like you said, is available as punter. We knew he was going to play both ways anyways, but he's a dangerous dual-threat quarterback, guy that knows his offense extremely well. Just can't but wonder what Bobby Ingles thinking coming into this game. Maybe going to use him sparingly. Maybe just going to continue to ride with Carter, who's been playing a little bit better, if they think that. But I think Cameron Hedger is the bigger surprise for me.
And we do have we don't really know what's going on there, but we do see Cameron Hedger is on the field at defense and at safety. We did see Gus Yerta come out to punt. So at least in a good news category there, those guys are available to play tonight. So maybe giving some guys some extra reps there. We did see Slade Engel there. Cole Stonecipher also was in the tailback position at one point. So a little different look coming in for Westside. Maybe just trying to break the scouting report a little bit.
Yeah, break the scouting report, or trying to give these guys some breaks. You got Hedger and Yerta that are playing, like I said, both ways, both their star offensive players. It could just be an area of like load management, using NBA term.
Load management, I like it. I like it a lot. About 10 minutes left. We've just kicked this one off, and Truman is getting a first look. Oh, looky here, looky here.
A little trickery. I like the switching the entire line of scrimmage.
Pass goes to Murphy Williams. He goes up the right side, gets about 5 yards, and he is met by Cameron Hedger himself. Good tackle there, open field. That's a gain of 5. I'll call it 4 for Truman.
That play looked a lot promising from the start. A lot of movement just for a 4-yard gain. But you're curious to see what Truman tries to pull out of their hat next, because this is an interesting formation that they're lining up in.
Hard to defend. You see the safety come all the way over and make a tackle for only a 4-yard gain. Pretty good defense there. Williams in the gun. Motion from the left. It is handed off to the left. It's a sweep play. Again, got some room to run. Westside swarms in. He's taken out of bounds, but not before he gets past the first down marker. New set of downs coming your way for Truman on the carry from Dawson Sherbert.
Good run by Sherbert, but again, another great pursuit by Hedger. He had a lot of space on that left side, and the Westside has collapsed on to prevent more than just barely a first down. So that was solid pursuit by the defense here, but Wildcats now in plus territory.
Up-tempo offense coming your way. Snap goes directly to the back. Couple-yard gain.
It's the second time we've seen that where the snap went directly to the back. The quarterback kind of faked it like it was going over his head or too far to the left or the right. And, usually those are a little bit more effective in those short yardage situations, right there on the goal line, going for 2, something like that. To see this being run so far out in their own territory and then barely into Westside is kind of interesting to me. But I would not be surprised at all to see a play sometime during this game, if they continue to run that, where the running back actually does throw the ball.
Be good is really the Wildcat. Another snap, and the ball is fumbled in the backfield. Looks like the Wildcats do fall on it. Little trouble in the backfield. Coda Cameron couldn't get a handle on it.
Well, Truman just lucky to be able to fall on that ball there. But, there is something to be said, Blake, for being a little too fancy on offense. We're seeing a lot of movement, a lot of motion plays from Truman so far, a lot of direct snaps to your running backs, and things like that are bound to happen. If you get a little too fancy, you might not stick to the things that are simple.
Stuff works out great when it works, but if something's just a little bit off, can turn into an absolute disaster. Murphy's ready. He takes the snap, drops back to pass. Screen pass out left side, but hit immediately by Darvin Fowler, and we're going to go to 4th and long.
Excellent read on 3rd and long. The screen play, not a bad idea for Truman, but brilliant job by this Westside defense to meet that.
Ready. He
Drop
takes
for a
the snap,
loss actually on
back
that
to
play.
Pass. Screen pass out
very,
left
very
side, but hit
disciplined.
immediately by Darvin Fowler, and we're going to go to see on that screen play. Checks down.
Great open field tackle by Fowler.
Westside does have some talent over there defensively. Again, you'll see those guys on the offensive side. We are shaping up for a punt. It is 4th and about almost 20. End over end kick. Lands at the 30. Takes a Truman bounce. And it's down to the 17. So that is where the Warriors will begin their next drive at the 17-yard line. Good punt there.
Excellent
from
punt.
Truman.
And interesting not to see Westside put a return man back there. Obviously Truman was not going to go for it there on 4th and over 20 yards at that point. You know, it was odd formation too. Didn't see much of a snap, a long snap on that punt. So Westside, I feel like should have put a return man back there, maybe rush a little bit more. But still, excellent punt inside the 20. Westside, long ways to go.
Under center once again is Colton Carter. So Westside continues to mix things up on that side of the football. Pitch out to Darvin Fowler. Tries to turn the corner. He's got one guy. If he can get past him, he's got yards after carry. Big first down for Westside as Darvin Fowler moves the chains.
Excellent run by Fowler. Hard run by Fowler. And, you know, we've talked about Westside in this type of offense they run, like the trio of running backs they have back there.
Tries to turn the corner. He's got one guy. If he can get past him, he's got yards after carry. Big first down for West.
In a different way that makes him a dangerous back. And Fowler there, a lot bigger than the other two and more of a bruiser. And we saw that on that run there.
Timeout is called by Truman. That's their first. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left to play. We have no score. We will be right back here on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
It's a great night for football. Welcome back to Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. Blake Gwynn, Alex Galbraith here with you as Westside has just picked up what was a very nice first down on a run by Darvin Fowler.
Again, more of the bruising back here, and we hope to see more of him tonight in this power I formation.
Carter under center. Carter falls, but he does get the handoff away, but that was busted from the start as Truman swarms in.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if that was more of a miscommunication on the handoff there or it was intended to be more of a fake, but that's not one of those positive plays that Westside needs to, again, to continue to move those chains. You know, they need to be picking up about 3 to 5 yards per run to sustain these drives and to get them, because this isn't a big play team. You're not going to see Westside, you know, beat you downfield. You're not going to see Westside break out too many big-time runs. The most might be 10 to 15 yards. So we need to see more positive plays for them as the night goes on.
Again, it is not Gus Yerta under center. It is Colton Carter. Also have yet to see Hedger in the backfield until right now. And his first run of the game is stopped immediately.
And that's not the first run you want to have right there. That is not the good start that you want if you're Cameron Hedger.
Nope. So, again, we knew Hedger was available. We know Yerta is also available. He punted. Hedger played defense, made a great tackle on the last series, but Yerta is not under center, so just changing things up. You know, you're 0-2 and trying to switch some things up. But Hedger, again, is taking carries tonight. But, you know, you may have a point with Hedger on some load management there. I mean, you let a guy carry the football as many times as he has carried it this season, you're bound to get some bumps and scrapes. Well,
absolutely. This is a team, again, that has so many different backs that can carry the ball. Why not use Hedger a little more on the defense where you might need him more if you have guys that are more than capable of handling the offense?
And we got a flag in the backfield. That's probably going to be a delay of game. Play clock is at 0.
Delay of game against Westside.
Yeah, this is going to be about 3rd and 20, maybe longer than that. And this is just you know, if I'm Westside here, I'm not doing anything too fancy. Obviously not going to throw the ball, run it up the gut, and go ahead and punt the ball away and hope your defense can stand tall again.
Might have to take your medicine, just hope something good happens. It's one of those times as it's 3rd and infinity here.
And the second time we've seen this for both teams. You know, long for Westside on their first drive, now on their second. They did the same to Truman.
Carter to Crane. Crane does have some room to run, but it was just so long to get to the chains. Yeah. But it does put Westside in the think about it position here on 4th down, but there is a flag down on the play at about the 35-yard line. Carter to Crane. About where that run broke Crane loose. Does have some room to run. There was a hold right there.
Looks like it's going to be on Truman. Like some extracurricular after the game or after the play.
Truman's not acting like it's coming back, are they?
Now, you know, we saw the official look over at Bobby Engel on the Westside sideline, asking him what he wanted to do. And it looked like a personal foul, so this could be huge in the sense of giving Westside a first down.
Got 5 minutes left here in this first quarter, and we have no score at this point. Both teams have moved it a little bit. It has resulted in punts on both opening possessions for these teams. Westside on their second possession of the game, and here's the call. Personal foul on Westside. And so she is coming back.
Well, if I'm Truman, I'm just declining that play, declining that penalty. It was going to be fourth down anyways, and not fourth down and 2 manageable, about 4th and 6 or 7. So, I mean, from a field position standpoint, maybe do accept it. That way, you know, the odds of them getting this first down again,
well,
slim, but, you know.
Could play into your decision-making that Westside's probably not going to throw it on you.
Right.
But by the same token, you saw what they just did.
Exactly.
They do that again, and it's first down. It is a first down. So it is 1st and 10.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. They did not pick up that first down on that run. And
the personal foul. Okay. Yeah.
So it was a personal foul on Truman.
Okay,
guess, yeah.
so what Westside did was take the penalty, which did back them up, but it resulted in an automatic first down. Yeah, the official pointed the wrong way there, so that's all right. We'll give it – hey, it happens. I do things all the time that are not incorrect.
So we're all knocking that rust off a little bit, right?
Absolutely. It happens all the time, so I'm gonna give him a break on that one. So it is 4:30 running clock here. 2nd down and short. Well, short 4 yards for Westside.
Which for them, very manageable with this offense.
Oh, Hedger's got some room. If he could break one tackle, looky here. Can he get by one guy? And what a tackle by Truman, but a huge run by Cameron Hedger on his 2nd run of the night.
That much better than his first run there. That great breaking the tackle and burst of speed to get him right around the 30-yard line, 32-yard line. But this is what we expect to see out of Cameron Hedger. Not every single play, but a hard-nosed runner, more of a speed back for them, and heck of a run to put them in in prime position to get some points on this drive.
Dawson Schubert with a big tackle because that was headed for 6, and Hedger breaks that tackle. There's nothing between him and Paradise. 2 in the backfield this time for the Warriors. Hedger and Fowler. Goes to Fowler in the fullback position, and he just rumbles on ahead for about a 4-yard gain, and here comes 2nd down and 6 for Westside. Ooh, we got some pushing and shoving going on.
Yeah, that was very classless right there by Westside. Looked like Justin McFall that did that. Guy was on the ground, pushed him. Surprised there wasn't a penalty thrown for that.
There's a chippiness going on there. You know, if it doesn't go too far, it can enhance the experience.
Well, you know, I'm all for the little extracurricular. You know, it's a physical game. People are going to be out there talking, but you got to be able to keep your composure a little bit.
Yeah, because that probably will be a penalty the next time.
Exactly.
The official lets you get away with one there, gives you a warning, says don't do it again. But you can't do it again because he's going to call a penalty next time. Hedger goes out the left side, finds a gap, gets past the first down marker, and is tackled by the feet. And that's another first down for Cameron Hedger. And just like that, he makes his appearance into the game and makes his impact on his 3rd carry of the game.
Well, and you know what, Blake, not only that, but if you've watched those last 2 runs by Cameron Hedger, they're bouncing it to the outside. And that's one thing I've been stressing when I've been watching Westside football is, yes, this power I formation going up the gut works on occasion, but bouncing it to the outside on a toss or just a power ends up working out a lot more. And Cameron Hedger, the 2 biggest plays of the night have come on that left side.
First down Warriors, offset I. Yurda back in at quarterback, keeps it on the bootleg, and he gains about 4 yards. And we're seeing bread and butter Westside here to start this football game.
Bread and butter Westside, but the amount of switching we're seeing from this Westside team is very impressive. We got Yurda back in the game. We're seeing Hedger coming in and out. I love what Bobby Engel's doing. I think, you know, Blake, you might have been right earlier, just trying to throw the scouting report off a little bit and using multiple different looks and formations.
You know, if he feels like Carter can handle the ball under there some, if he feels like some of these sophomores can come in and make it happen, it does throw things off. It does take some load off of those guys from getting beat up all the time, and it's working so far. Here's Connor Crane on the carry. It was a pretty good attempt at a strip there, but he was able to hang on to the football. Good ball protection. He gets about 3 yards, and that's going to bring up third down, but pretty short for the Warriors.
And again, third and very manageable. Look, Westside's in a position here where they're probably going to get points, but if I'm Bobby Engel, you're on the road. If they were to get stops here on this third down, I think you go for it. It's fourth and manageable, third and manageable. I feel like this is end zone or bust here if I'm the Warriors.
Under 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter, third down. Listen to this crowd. It's Hedger. Rumbles ahead, close to that marker, and I believe he did pick it up.
It was right there at the 9, I agree.
First down, Warriors. I'm liking this ball movement, this offensive production so far from Westside. Didn't see this in either of the first 2 games.
No, not at all. Not at all. And again, it comes down to your defense, comes down to the battle in the trenches more than anything. How well does Truman's defensive line hold up against this offense here? And, you know, if I'm Westside, I'm contemplating a throw here inside the red zone. They've been running the ball very effectively, but that play action can sell, especially with Truman stacking the box.
Yurda's been taking the reps the last 3 possessions for Westside. And a timeout's going to be taken by Bobby Engel with 1 minute and 19 seconds left to play. There is no score, but Westside's knocking on the door. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
Man, that pizza looks good. Thanks for Fox's Pizza Den for being a sponsor of Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. Blake Gwynn, Alex Galbraith here with you. Westside knocking on the door. They're on the 9. They have a new set of downs, so first and paradise for them. Looking to break the maiden on this game. No score so far, Alex. Westside's moving the football.
Westside's been doing a phenomenal job moving the football. Let's keep in mind, Blake, this drive started on like their own 17-yard line. They've just slowly but surely marched down the field, had a help of a penalty to extend the drive, but Cameron Hedger, has carried this team so far deep in their own territory, and I feel like he deserves to carry this ball into the end zone pretty soon.
Warriors came out. They had different quarterback in. Hedger was not in the backfield. Mix things up a little bit, but they go back to their guys now. So in the comfort zone, lining up in the I, motion from Crane to the right. Handoff goes to Hedger, finds a gap, rumbles ahead, runs over one dude, tries to stay on his feet.
What a run.
And, man, what a gutsy run. He's down to the 1 or 2 yard line.
And, you know, that is what you want to see from your running back there. As yards after contact, continuing to fight for every single yard. Hedger almost got into the end zone on that play after getting hit around the 7 yard line. So, unbelievable effort there. And right on the 1 yard line, Westside about to punch it in here, get on the board first.
50 seconds left in the first quarter, so plenty of time here. You can just switch ends of the field if you have to. Here's the I, and this is where Westside can be so good. The power run. Pitch out left side. Hedger, 6 for the Warriors.
You know, Blake, that is a huge, huge touchdown for the Warriors. Come on the road and strike first. Honestly, surprised there. Of all times, that is where they choose to bounce it to the outside, not go up the gut. But nonetheless, Cameron Hedger, he deserved to get in the end zone on this drive. He did. All of the biggest plays on this drive came straight from him, and he's given them the spark on offense that they needed.
An 83-yard touchdown drive from the Warriors. That one started all the way back on their own 17-yard line. Cameron Hedger comes in, gets his first rush of the game on this drive, and he carries them home for 6. Extra point is good, so it's 7-0 Westside as they open the scoring here in this one as we take a look at Cameron Hedger, who took us to break. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Welcome to the game, Cameron Hedger, as he opens the scoring with a great drive, 83 yards for the Warriors as they get on the board first, 7-0 with 35 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Welcome to the game is right. I mean, we didn't see Cameron Hedger or Gus Yerda come out on that opening drive, the opening series for Westside, and they carried the team on this last drive. So not sure exactly what Bobby Engel was doing, but it's working. I'm ready to see what they got next on defense, though.
I have learned something calling these games for about 4 years now is not to doubt him. I have. It's happened. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. But, you know, the thing about, especially on his offensive philosophy, there is a lot in that playbook. If you're not a real high football IQ person, you wouldn't notice.
Right.
And we talk about that on these broadcasts, that offense that they run, it can unfold on you in a hurry, and you don't know what just hit you. You mentioned the pitch to the outside on the touchdown run.
Exactly. I mean, I know that Truman was expecting a run up the gut there. Why not? You're on the 1 yard line. That's what you've been doing for the majority of this drive. And it was just a brilliant call by Bobby Engel. I was surprised by it. I don't know if I even fully agreed with it, but it worked. It paid off. It was a really great call.
You know, there's a mix-up there at the beginning. You change the guys up, get away from the scouting report as Truman opens their next drive with a nice carry from Murphy Williams. He picks up a little over half of what he needs, and that's second down.
You know, we've seen both these teams just ground and pound all night long. You know, we have not seen much from Truman's passing game. We have not seen much from Garner Henderson. And obviously we didn't expect to see much from Westside anyways, but I was going to be interested to see, you know, can Truman do what Westside did and continue to go on a long, methodical drive and break off a few huge runs as we come to the end of the first quarter.
End of the first quarter, and Truman will flip sides of the field, make an attempt at it on 2nd and 4. 7-0 Warriors. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Begins with a click, and just like that, you are immersed in a world of wonder, education, entertainment, information. Connect with family and friends from around the block or around the world. So when it's time to connect, Ritter Communications will be there to make it happen. With speeds up to 1 gig. Ritter Communications, connecting you to what's important.
And welcome back to Truman. Wonderful night for football here as the Wildcats begin their second drive of the game. It is the beginning of the second quarter as the Warriors lead this one 7-0.
Again, just a great start by Westside. This is probably, Blake, the best start to a game we have seen from Westside all year. If you take away that kickoff return for a touchdown against Greene County Tech, offensively, this has been the best start for Westside here. The defense is usually pretty strong, and you know, this is a game they need to win. 0-2 on the year. This feels like a must-win for them, and this is the exact start they needed.
Sweep play out to the right-hand side. Little room to run, but good swarm there by the Warriors.
Give Westside credit there for crashing in on that play. Kind of faked me out for a second there, but can make up for a third, and well, they're going to give him the first down maybe. Looked like he was a little short on that.
Wildcats pick up the first. You know, both teams have moved the ball some. Westside did go 3 and out on their first drive, but they did so without Cameron Hedger in the backfield, Connor Crane in the backfield. They did so without Gus Yerda under center. So, I mean, you know, I don't know what was going on there, but it was not with their full team at the start of the game. So ever since then, though, these two teams have moved the football. Westside finally breaking the score, and that's probably going to be a false start. They get a timeout off. They got a timeout off. So they may have been racing the play clock there. There was a lot of things going on. So we're going to keep it here for you as we continue our coverage here of the Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. And Truman yet to score in this game, but I will tell you the dynamics of their offense have moved the football pretty well so far.
Yeah, they've been moving effectively. You know, this is a Westside defense that tonight so far we've seen them just bend a little, but they're not breaking. You know, Truman's progressing the ball a little bit, but we haven't really seen this team get inside, you know, about the 30-yard line or so for Westside. So, you know, the defense is allowing them to get a couple yards here and there. When it gets down to their backs against the wall, they're not breaking. They're getting some stops, getting some penalties, getting some tackles for a loss, and that's exactly what they're going to have to keep doing. So it'll just be a matter of can they continue this on defense. Really, I would just say for the remainder of this first half, you know, going to halftime with some momentum.
3-4A opener for these two teams, both of them playoff teams last year. Truman actually advancing to the second round last year. They had a win over Heber Springs, pretty resounding win over Heber Springs, 43-14, and of course Westside making the playoffs as well last year. Had to take a long road trip in their opening salvo. So two playoff teams, and this is where it all starts counting right now. And that that run play on second down for the Warriors goes absolutely nowhere. They're going to give him 1 yard on forward progress.
Again, that Westside defensive line just swarming here. They know, just like Truman knows, that neither team is more of a passing threat. So they're going to go out there and stack the box. I mean, you watch these defenses, you're going to see, you know, 8 or 9 players right there along the defensive line and back in that linebacking core. Yeah, you've got a guy out there playing wide receiver. Sure, you're going to put someone on him, but you know more than likely nothing's going to come of that. They're out there more for a blocking standpoint. But, I mean, right here we're seeing about 7 people in the box here for Westside.
One passing attempt in this entire game, and it was a screen pass. Handoff goes right side to Williams. Williams breaks one, gets up the sideline, reaches the ball out, picks up about an extra yard by doing that. He crosses midfield, and it's going to be third down and short.
I love the effort there by Williams. I love the play call, too, a little bit of a fake reverse. And if you watch Truman's offense, they've got 2 guys in the backfield that look like they're going to take the snap. So you don't really know which one it's going to be. And there's a lot of movement in the backfield before the play really even gets started. So give credit to Westside for hanging in there and not getting fooled.
I like this offense by Truman. And yeah, Randy Phillips in his second season got Truman to the playoffs in year 1 with a 6-6 record. So you got to like what they're doing here. They're well put together. Only 1 penalty so far on offense with that dynamic offense. And there's another first down for Truman.
That was a 3rd and short situation there. I like the play call just to go up the gut, pick up the yardage. Don't do anything too fancy. Keep this drive alive.
It's Eli Evett on the carry. And he another carry for Truman. It's second down. Good stop there for the Warriors on first down.
And again, like we said, this is bend, don't break here. What Westside needs to do, though, they've got to be able to force Truman into a 3rd and long situation. That's how you beat these teams that are primarily run teams. You force them into a 3rd and long, you're going to make them pass, which they don't want to do, or the odds of them breaking off a big run and picking up that first down very slim. So if they can get a negative play here, or maybe just a short yardage gain here, Westside's going to be sitting pretty on 3rd down.
2nd and 8. Williams alone in the backfield. And we got a timeout taken by Bobby Engel. That is Westside's second of the half with 9:53 left to play here at the half. It is 7-0 Warriors. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Westside Warriors football on Tubetown is presented by Denver's Refrigeration. All first downs are also sponsored by Denver's Refrigeration. And we have also had 1 First National Bank touchdown as well, with Westside punching it in on the back of Cameron Hedger. 2nd down and 8 coming your way for the Wildcats as we come out of this break.
Again, this is a huge down for Westside, trying to force them in a 3rd and long situation. Wildcats are in their territory. Let's see how they respond.
Motion from the right. Williams
Beautiful
keeps
play.
it, got plenty of room off the fake. He's past the first down marker, got plenty, and runs out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. Huge run and a great keep on the read by Murphy Williams.
Excellent, excellent play call. Murphy Williams, one of the fastest players on this team, as we know. Again, bouncing it to the outside, a little bit of a QB keeper there. Excellent, excellent call by the Wildcats.
We do have a flag at the end. It looked like some extracurricular at the end. It came out after the play was over. We'll see what the call is. If that is 15 on Westside, that's going to be pretty tough.
And you just, depending on what this penalty is, you just hate to see plays like that negated for something that should never have happened in the first place, especially if it's extracurricular.
It is going to be a first down as the chains have moved.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike on the Wildcats. So that is very frustrating if you're Randy Phillips after that gigantic play. So they do get the first down, but they're going to be well behind the chains as that thing is marching way back.
Again, that's just so frustrating. You had a team, in Truman here that was going to set themselves up inside the red zone after a beautiful play call, and now all the way back to about the 40-yard line. Can't get a first down until about the – oh, they're going to move it back now. They're going to switch things up.
Yeah. So it's 1st and 10. A big majority of that run negated.
Yeah.
They do get the first down, but big majority of that run negated. And that's just that's unnecessary. That's frustrating if you're the coaching staff. Westside had one earlier that did the exact same thing. Can't have that.
I'm going to try the exact same play, just out to the right this time. Got another flag, though.
Devin Miles on the carry. Not much doing. There is a flag down.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is on Truman. This is on the Wildcats, and it looks like it is. Just keep digging themselves in a hole. Had the ball in the red zone inside the 20. Now they're back inside their own territory. Just can't catch a break with these penalties.
That's tough. That's tough because they really should be threatening here.
Exactly.
And they're well behind the chains. The hold in the backfield, and they're 10 yards behind the chains. It's 1st and 20.
Yeah, that's a killing penalty for Truman.
Williams rolls out, checks down to the pass.
Good catch.
Gets it to Yvette. He's back to around the original line of scrimmage.
And I like that play call from the Wildcats there. Wasn't the best throw, but it was a great catch and run. Just picks up those penalty yardage back. Something that you wouldn't have gotten had you run the ball more than likely. So, way to set yourselves back up in a situation where you can pick up the first down and keep this drive going.
Gets back to the original line plus about 5. So 2nd down and 5. 9:24 left to play in the half. And if Truman can manage to get a first down out of this, they would have to really feel like they overcame adversity, as 2 big penalties negate a huge run and put them behind the chains. Williams keeps it. Room to run. He's got the first down.
Another great run. Again, these quarterback keepers, these direct snaps to the running backs are working out well, and they're doing it by bouncing it to the outside. They're running out to the left, running out to the right. And Blake, I will say we're having a clock issue here. The clock hasn't started. We're at the last minute or so. So I think Truman benefiting from that a little bit.
A little bonus time.
Yeah.
Get some of those untimed downs there. With 9:20 left on the clock.
At least not, about 30 seconds left or anything,
Right. Evitt looks like he's ready to take the snap, spins in a circle, hands the football off to the left side, Dakota Cameron, and he is met in the backfield by Gavin Rasden. Huge tackle for a loss.
What an impressive pursuit by Rasden. That was unbelievable. Had so much room on the side there, so much space there, and again, just great pursuit. And those open field tackles, Blake, are a lot harder than I think people realize. Tracking someone down like that, being able to wrap them up, not miss, extremely difficult. Then give credit to the rest of the Warriors there for coming over and helping make that tackle. That's about a 3-4 yard loss. And again, put the Westside in a bit of a tough spot.
Rasden had several nice plays in our previous broadcast. In the Brooklyn game, he had a couple of great defensive plays. Looks like Evitt is in position to take the snap again. We got another timeout. Timeouts galore.
Truman has used all 3 of their timeouts in this quarter alone.
Yep. Let's take a timeout, too. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
This drive for Truman's taken 50 years as we're back from break. 8:04 left to play in this half. Westside leads at 7-0. Wildcats find themselves behind the chains once again after a big tackle for a loss by Gavin Rasden. So it's second down and about 14 for the Wildcats.
I love that at the beginning. This has been a long drive. Truman, Westside scored their touchdown with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. And this drive by Truman has taken on since then. So well over 4 minutes now on this drive, but a lot of clock stoppages from mostly penalties and timeouts, honestly.
I'll tell you, if Truman finds a way to get this into the end zone, it'd be like they've traveled 150 yards. It's backed up by penalties. Oh, and he's in trouble. Williams taken down by a couple of Warriors.
And, you know, I saw what Truman was trying to do there. They tried to drop back to pass, roll out right. They were going to chunk it back left. They were going to try to throw it back left, and those throwbacks don't always work. They was looking at a great job by Westside for the solid coverage and just constant pursuit, because you have to have time to be able to make a throw that far across the field. And again, Williams just had nowhere to go on that one, and now they are way, way behind the chains. Again, this is just unbelievable how they keep going backwards.
Montana Neely led the way on that sack. Looked like a plan, maybe even to throw there by Williams, but Montana got him. Montani. Evitt fakes a pass and then moves ahead, hits a couple of guys, but that goes pretty well nowhere, and it's going to bring up fourth and extremely long, and decision time now for the Truman coaching staff.
You know, Blake, I think Truman's got to just punt it away here. Just try to pin them deep, try to pin Westside deep, maybe inside their own 10-yard line here, because you're not picking up this first down unless you just try to chunk it deep. You know, you're not going to pick it up on the ground here. So if I'm Truman, I'm punting the ball away and trying to hope our defense holds.
Yeah, this is fourth and extremely long. We're ready to punt.
Westside getting close to blocking that. And again, no return man.
Oh, that's a good punt.
And I wish they had one.
Punt is picked up at the 8. So a big punt. That's the second good punt of the night from Truman. 6.5 left to play, and there it is 7-0. But the Warriors do have the football back, and if they run a drive like we know they're capable of, they can dominate the rest of this half and certainly the time of possession.
I was going to say, the odds of Westside running out the final 6:29, that's not far-fetched. It's extremely possible they could do that. It's what they want to do. That's what they're good at here. So, again, they just got to start picking up those positive plays. And Westside ideally does not want to give the ball back to the Wildcats in this half, and I think they have the capability to do that.
That is one of Westside's best traits is time of possession, and they can dominate that. And when they're winning and doing well, that's exactly what they do. Cameron Hedger on a run outside doesn't get much. It will bring up second down.
Again, that time they tried to do a pitch out to the right. They've been hammering Hedger to the left. I still like going to the outside, but maybe not that early on the drive. Again, I try to Truman seems to have their backs up against the wall right now. They haven't had much of an answer for this offense. They're getting beat up down in the trenches. And if I'm Westside, I'm going to keep hammering that until they can prove they can stop me.
Westside was neutralized on that one. Still second and 10. 5:50 left to play in this half. Goes to Hedger, and he's taken out at the knees.
Excellent tackle. Excellent stop by the Wildcats there. So, again, brings up third and long. And You know, one thing too, Blake, is when you're so deep in your own territory, this drive starting on your own 8, you have to be a little bit more conservative. You know, a turnover could be detrimental, a sack could be detrimental. So you're a little more conservative when you're in the shadow of your own end zone. But Westside here probably gonna have to play conservative again and punt the ball away because I don't see them trying anything too fancy here.
3rd down and 9. You'd like to get out of your shadow just a little bit, maybe at least one first down. Handoff up the middle. Does rumble ahead. It's still going to be 4th down, 4th and 5 now for the Warriors, and they're going to have to punt as the 5-minute mark crosses here in the half.
So they're going to take about 2 minutes off, give or take, of this drive here, and that's, again, we haven't seen Truman this. They've moved the ball effectively, but we haven't seen them been able to get really in the red zone at all tonight. So I think Bobby Ing will have a little bit of faith in his defense to close this one out, at least this first half, but we're going to need a good punt from Gus Yoda first.
Yeah, you'd like to at least back them up to midfield.
Exactly. Yeah, don't give them any solid field position here. And with the play clock running down, I might see Ingold take a timeout.
Oh, you got to go 3, 2, and there's that final timeout of the half from Westside. 4:20 left to play. It is 7-0 Warriors. And that's, you know, you look at Westside, they've done what they want to do.
Yeah, you know, Westside's doing a really good job of, again, just playing their style of football. They're not flashy. Again, it's kind of funny that you just stereotype a team that runs the ball like this. You group them with, like, the Armies and the Navies and the college football.
Right.
Because that's what they do. But all those teams have in common, they have a solid defense as well. We're seeing that across the board from Westside tonight. So far, their best performance of the season.
You know, if you just can't get enough of us, next Friday night will be our next broadcast as Westside heads back home as Blytheville comes into town for a conference matchup. And, of course, we'll have the ASU TV crew out there helping us as always. So those guys do a tremendous job as well, as you well know, Alex.
They're killing it. Oh, they're killing it. I've been part of that program for the last 4 years now and enjoy working with every single one of them. And, I mean, out there making it look like a professional, real ESPN-type broadcast.
Oh, they're great. I mean, wonderful job. Fun to work with. And as much as we love hanging out on the roof, we get to, you know, it's a good night to hang out on the roof.
I'm going to say, I'm not too opposed to that, you know.
Going inside, and I'm kind of enjoying that.
Beautiful punt.
Oh, that's exactly
Excellent
what you – oh,
punt.
my goodness. Gus Yerta to the 30. We got a flag, though. I think there's going to be a penalty on Westside, and Darvin Fowler is furious at Eli Wiley right now because there was a late what looked like a kind of a blindside block that's going to negate every bit of that amazing Gus Yerta punt. And, I mean, Darvin Fowler was furious at his teammate over that.
Oh, and as he should be, rightfully so. You have a beautiful punt like that. No return, man. No need to even hit somebody on that punt. Just let the ball get down there and down it. You've got to have a little bit more self-control and discipline on that. And, again, Fowler, every right to be furious with his teammate. Although, not seeing anything happening.
Did they pick it up? I did see the flag did get picked up. So, and I will tell you, the flag came out. The Truman faithful went berserk. I was watching the ball come down. Truman faithful go berserk. There was a flag at the spot, and you saw Darvin Fowler going absolutely ballistic. Here it is. So there's a personal foul on Wiley, and there's the movement.
The 15 yards. Should have started on the 30, and now Truman going to start close to midfield with 4 minutes left in this first half. That's huge. Those 15 yards are huge when you consider how each team has really struggled to move the ball tonight.
It absolutely is. Still an unbelievable punt by Yerta. Still as pretty good. We would have hoped we would have taken this before the punt.
Absolutely.
Now we're disappointed. But it's first down and 10, and the Wildcats have 4 minutes and 8 seconds before the break. Here's our first real pass of the night. Williams over the top, and it's caught.
What a catch. What a great catch.
Parks McNair with a big-time catch over the top of a Westside defender. Take a look at this on replay.
Well, you know, and that's exact. First off, give credit to McNair for the adjustment, going up and getting that ball. But another great call by Truman. Anytime you get something that goes your way, an extra penalty or a big play or the defense is caught sleeping, you want to take that shot deep. You got a little bit of momentum on your side, take that shot deep after the big penalty. Excellent play call by the Wildcats, but an even better catch by McNair.
Miles in the backfield with Williams. Williams back to pass once again. Pass out left side, got room to run, cuts up the middle, yards after carry, and he reaches for the end zone, waiting for the signal. There's a fumble, and it's a touchback. It is a touchback as he has fumbled it out of the end zone.
Wow, unbelievable. You know, he was reaching for the goal line. You can see here on the replay, he's reaching for the goal line, and he was so close. But it looks like Westside's going to get the ball there, the touchback, and obviously there's no review in high school, no video review. But you know, had it been college or the pro, they would be reviewing this right now to see if that ball crossed the plane.
And they're doing a mental review right now, and we had a really good look at that.
You know,
that
regardless
was
of
a
what happens
terrific camera
here,
shot.
Regardless of what happens, it's going to go down as controversial.
Yeah, because if they overturn this, Bobby Ingle's going to go nuts.
He's going to be livid. And they're giving it to Truman.
Here's the thing about that, Alex. I don't know what you think. You can absolutely disagree, but we're going to have a unsportsmanlike on Bobby Ingle, which was predicted as well. Here's my thing on this. I think that may be the right call. I think he might have been down before he fumbled it. But you make the call initially on the field. There is no instant replay.
Right.
And then it becomes overturned, which is what Bobby Ingle's objection is going to be.
No, exactly. Why do a mental review? I agree with you, Blake. I think the odds of him being down were very, very high. Easily could have been down there. But, you know, you made that call on the field as a fumble and a touchback in favor of the Warriors. How can you just sit there, huddle up, and go, you know, we're just going to say he was down instead? I mean, that's a very, very tough call to make. But I don't know. I don't know. That penalty's not going to do much for Truman. They were on the 1 yard line to begin with.
So it is first and goal from the 1 for the Wildcats. They did not score on that play. They marked him down at the 1, which is why the fumble through the end zone did not result in a touchback for Westside. 3:15 left. Devin Miles in the backfield. He takes the direct snap up the middle, and touchdown Wildcats.
And another flag on top of that. Curious to see what this one will be.
And we'll wait and see what that is. If that happened to be on the Wildcats, that could be big.
I've got a feeling it's just more extracurricular after the play. Both teams get a little chippy. Westside feel like they've been slighted. But, you know, Blake, you know, you take away everything that we saw here with the fumble and the controversial fumble if you want. We'll get the call here.
And, again, I think that might have been the right call, but another personal foul against Westside. So the touchdown will stand.
But, you know, say what you want if you're Westside, but that drive and the major reason that Truman got in the end zone here was the beautiful pass earlier, right after the penalty. You know, we went from their own 45 to about the 20-yard line. So you're looking at about a 35-yard pass play there. The first really true big play we've seen of the night from Truman, and that's what set him up for this touchdown here. So Westside, you know, they can say all they want, but the defense had to have been better. And that pass play, that whether he fumbled or not, still a bunch of missed tackles there, very poor coverage. So finally getting to see the Wildcats move the ball through the air was good, and Westside had no one to blame but themselves on that.
Boy, and the unsportsmanlikes are racking up here for the Warriors.
You know, and I know as frustrated as Bobby Ingle is, I know as a passionate coach as Bobby Ingle is, I get it. But I feel like he really needs to, you know, corral his players. You know, I don't think they're getting fired up. I think they're getting frustrated. And there is a difference there. You've got to get this team back under control, get their composure, you know, and fix some things at halftime, you know, because you can't afford more stupid penalties like this as the game goes on.
And I will say, about a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, clock time, all the momentum was on Westside's end, and it just doesn't feel that way right now. Just because of the way that just went down. Williams on the two-point conversion pushes ahead. There's a battle for it, and what a stop by the Warriors. That was so gutsy to come up, and we've got another flag.
You know, Blake, these are getting kind of old.
Yeah, I'm not down there. I don't know what's going on, but it's wearing me out one way or the other. We got another one. Westside may have to kick this from their own end zone.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is it just doesn't make any sense. But regardless, getting that stop on the two-point conversion, that is going to prove costly for Truman.
Yeah, that's big. And he was right knocking on the door on the two-point convert. We're going to stay here just because of everything that's going on. We got about 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to play. But it is 7-6. Westside does retain the lead, but he was knocking on the door.
He was.
And Hedger and a couple other guys just stepped up and fought him off. Gutsy play, but again, Westside's going to have to kick this, or Truman, it's probably going to kick it from Westside's or their own end zone. I mean, there's a lot of penalties on this.
They're racking up on both sides, and I know some of them can offset if they're on each team, because I know one leads to another. But you're right. I mean, if that is the case, if Truman's going to have to kick the ball from not only their own end zone but farther back, Westside has enough time to go down there and get some points right before half.
And I lost count. I'm not going to lie.
I did too.
There was some before the snap, some after the snap. There was one on the touchdown. So it's going to be interesting to see where Truman will kick this football from.
Well, and if they were more on Westside than Truman, they're going to get to kick it off from a more favorable spot. And it looks like that might be what's happening.
Truman is actually confused about which way they're going to kick the ball because they're so far forward. I don't know that I've ever seen this.
I haven't either. In any sport.
Look at this. They're going to kick off from the 35.
And another personal foul. I don't understand. None of this makes sense. I'm watching the Truman coaches on the sideline. It's cracking me up.
I'm sorry. I mean, there is not one person in this entire stadium that knows what's going on right now. The officials don't know. Truman is arguing with the officials about where the ball needs to be kicked off. The officials are discussing where the ball needs to get kicked off. There's been another unsportsmanlike. I'm sorry. I can't handle it.
What, now are they?
I'm just going to, you know what, we'll just wait for a minute.
Let's just watch.
Let's just watch it. It's just great.
Well, neither team has a timeout either, which is great. Adds to the confusion.
There is not one person. I'm telling you, there's not one person here that knows what's going on. And that includes those three guys right there. There are people everywhere. I mean, there's Westside guys.
Well, you have the Westside fans across the field pointing towards the end zone, towards their end zone. Truman fans doing the exact same. So the fans might know better what's going on than the officials. I don't. Are we really about to kick this ball off from the 35-yard line?
Dude, there's no way. This is not going to happen.
Or are we about to redo the kick or the try? Are we about to redo the 2-point try?
I have never seen anything like this. Like, I hadn't seen anything like it about 10 minutes ago, but at this point,
yeah,
they have literally, there have been so many unsportsmanlike 15-yard penalty calls that nobody knows where the football is supposed to be. And you can see the T marker
is on the 10-yard line.
Is on the 10. You can see it right there by number 88 from Truman. It is on the 10-yard line. And if this is true, Truman is about to kick this football off to Westside from the 10-yard line. You are not. This is not a. Well, it may be a mistake, but this is what is about to happen. I do believe.
There's no. I don't. You know what? If I'm Truman, just onside it, right?
If this, you got to go, yeah, but it can't go 10 yards or it's in the end zone.
Right. So it's a touchback. I don't.
Yeah. If you kick it, it's got to go 10 yards.
Then nothing can happen here. I mean.
Yeah. So they literally have to kick it into the end zone.
Right.
This is unbelievable. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I apologize for losing composure there a little bit, but I wasn't the only one. I was probably 3,500 people here that this is where we need the official, like they have on the big broadcast on Saturdays and Sundays,
yeah,
to
the
come
rules
in.
official, yeah.
To come in and say, hey, this is. I don't think he would know either, but so it is 7. If you're just joining us, it is 7-6. Truman scored. They were stopped on a 2-point conversion. Oh wait, we're moving again.
Are you also mean to tell me that the majority of these, personal fouls were on, Westside?
Yeah, doing the math, I think every one of them was on.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they've moved the ball up so much.
So now we're at the 15-yard line. At this point, you can go with an onside kick because there's at least 10 yards. If you kick it 10 yards, then you're on the 5. So here we go. We're kicking off from the 15-yard line. Truman to Westside. This is happening right now. This is our life. I don't think Truman is. I mean, there's no precedent for this. You just kind of have to make it up. And here's the onside. It gets to the 5.
And I saw some early. I saw an early touch by Truman. It looks like they recovered it.
Truman has recovered this onside kick. The officials are going to discuss because I believe you're right. I think there was an early touch, and they're going to call early touching on Truman, and that's the right call.
Yeah, it was definitely touched well before it went 10 yards. That should be Westside's ball going the other way.
That's the right decision. Yeah. That was extremely close to being Truman football on about the 2, but instead it's early touching, which is the correct call. So now what do we do? We kick off from the 25?
I guess if there's even going to be a re-kick, or you just take the penalties if you're Westside and start your drive inside your own 10.
And I think Westside's just going to they're going to get it at about the 5.
Yeah.
Which is a break. That's way better than what we thought that was about to be. So with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to go and about 15 minutes of insanity, we now have a Westside possession after a kickoff from the 15.
That's one of the wildest sequences I've ever seen at any level of football.
Yep. Goes to Cameron Hedger. He rumbles ahead to the 10, gains about 5. So 2nd down and 5. The clock runs under 3 minutes here in this half.
This is something that I think we'll be talking about for a while, if I'm being quite honest with you. I just
I don't know
if I can get back into the zone anymore after all that.
Yeah, that has the potential to go viral.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, because I've never seen anything like that.
No. A kickoff from the 15-yard line.
We've both seen a lot of football, and I've never seen that. And Cameron Hedger's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the half. And then going back to that sequence, I don't think what we can miss in that, as crazy as that was, there were like 7 unsportsmanlike or personal fouls called on Westside, and it's almost like it got to be just this heated exchange between somebody and the officials, and it added up to what I assume was the better part of 50 yards.
Right. I mean, again, it felt like all of those ended up being on Westside, which didn't seem like it should have been the case. But, yeah, it's been a very chippy first half for both teams here.
It's one of them, too. You wish you could get a Bobby Engel interview coming off the field.
Absolutely.
Another decent defensive stop. Westside does move to about 3 out. It is 4th down, though, and you would think that would force a punt. Minute and a half. Yurda's last punt
was beautiful.
Was huge, and it ended up being for naught as Truman took it into the end zone. We do have a minute 20 left, so another good kick from Yurda could get us pretty close to halftime.
Yeah, I mean, neither team has a timeout left, so Truman can't stop the clock, and if Yurda can just get one good punt off and get them inside, Truman territory, they might just run out this clock and get us into half. And they didn't. They easily could have said it's a fake.
Yurda on the fake, he's going to get it. And, man, that may be just what the doctor ordered if you're Westside after that turn of events. And what a gutsy call from Bobby Engel. Hey, why not? Why not? I love it.
If I'm What a call, first off. What a call by Bobby Engel just to keep the drive alive. I wish they would have done that with a little more time on the clock. I don't know if they're going to get anywhere in 55 seconds, but better than giving the ball back to the Wildcats.
Yeah, no timeouts. It's tough for Westside with their offensive scheme to move that, but tough for anybody to move that far. But you know what? Hey, that is – you do have the lead. We forget about all of that with everything that went on. Westside does have the lead, and now they still have the football. Yerta looking to throw, got some time, rolls out right side, and he is taken down in the backfield for second down and just couldn't find an open receiver in time, and that will probably take us to the break.
It needs to. No one needs to take another unnecessary hit. Can waste the rest of the clock, go into halftime with the lead and the momentum, and close out what's been just a wild, wild first half here in Truman.
I'll say this, and I always say this. I have the utmost respect for these officials and everything that they do. They don't get paid nearly enough to put up with what they put up with from us. As we go into halftime at 7-6, Westside does have a lead, and we'll get back to that here in a minute. But I do want to close this out because there was a lot that went on there, and I don't want to be confused. These officials do not get paid enough to do what they do, to be heckled the way that they are, and I don't ever want it to come off that I disrespect those guys in any way, shape, or form. I will say, though, that was a total mess. The amount of penalties that were called on Westside, no matter what is going on over there, cannot and should not happen.
No.
It was like it got to be just a back and forth between the officials, and that just cannot happen. So let's leave it at that. We'll move on from that, but I do appreciate the officials and what they do. But that was a mess. I've never seen anything like it. But if you're Westside, you get that conversion on the fourth down. Gutsy play call from Bobby Engel. That's momentum because you do take a 7-6 lead into halftime.
Absolutely. And that was the key there. We knew that if Westside were to punt the ball back, the way Truman moved the ball on that last drive, and maybe barring an extra unsportsmanlike penalty there, that Truman easily could have taken that lead into halftime again. So go in with the lead, go in with the momentum. They needed that. It was an excellent call. And to add on to what you said, Blake, all the credit in the world to these officials for sorting out that mess. It was a mess.
Everybody was yelling at them.
Yeah, everybody. The pressure is on to get this call right. And as odd as it was to see a kickoff from the 15, I'm going to assume that was the right call, and it ended up working out for the best. We've still got a Truman coach out there trying to work things out with the officials, but at the end of the day, give them credit for pushing through that and getting the job done and getting us back to play.
Are you not entertained? We're going to go to break. Westside does hold a 7-6 lead. We will be back shortly. This is Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
We live in unprecedented times. Long hours, health checks to start the day. But First National Bank has been around since 1889, and we've seen unprecedented before. Even though our smiles may be masked, our dedication to service will be what's unprecedented. We'll be right here, where we've always been, doing what we do best, putting you first, always.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
This is where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have two cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
At Ritter Communications, We're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
We live in unprecedented times. Long hours, health checks to start the day. But First National Bank has been around since 1889, and we've seen unprecedented before. Even though our smiles may be masked, our dedication to service will be what's unprecedented. We'll be right here, where we've always been, doing what we do best, putting you first, always.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
This is where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have two cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
We live in unprecedented times. Long hours, health checks to start the day. But First National Bank has been around since 1889, and we've seen unprecedented before. Even though our smiles may be masked, our dedication to service will be what's unprecedented. We'll be right here, where we've always been, doing what we do best, putting you first, always.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
This is where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
And welcome back to Truman as you're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. I'm Blake Gwynn with Alex Galbraith, and what a first half of football for a variety of reasons.
Namely the whole debacle there at the end of the first half. Blake, we were all up here talking about it right before we came back. We've never seen anything like that at any level of football whatsoever. That is the craziest sequence I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, it was. I've never seen anything like it, and probably will never see anything like it again.
No.
So if you were watching, and I do apologize, I got tickled, and I didn't know it was nobody here knew what was going on. But what we, from the best of our abilities, happened is it looked like Westside got about 65 yards of unsportsmanlike or personal foul penalties. Those were enforced on the kickoff because they were after a Truman touchdown.
Right.
And so Truman, Westside ends up kind of stopping the 2-point conversion attempt. Those were enforced on the ensuing kickoff with 65 yards. We believe one of them was declined to back Truman up so they could actually try the onside kick from the 15.
Right.
Because the ball was originally placed on the 10. So they backed up to the 15. So they kicked off from Westside's 15-yard line. So they kicked off and actually recovered it. They recovered the onside kick from the 15. But there was illegal touching, so Westside got the ball. That took us into halftime at 7-6. That's our best assessment.
Yeah, if you can follow all of that, that's exactly what happened. And, then Westside, not only that, they pulled a fake punt on 4th down to prevent Truman from getting the ball back one last time before half. And then the fake punt, we knew nothing was going to come of it, but gutsy call by Bobby Engel and carry that 7-6 lead into halftime. And, if you go outside of that, if you can get past everything we've watched, it's been a good, physical, hard-nosed, just ground-and-pound game on both sides tonight.
127 total rushing yards for Westside. 103 of those were actually on Westside's second drive because of penalties. They rushed for a total of 103 yards on one drive that ended in a Cameron Hedger touchdown. That's the one score from Westside. 68 rushing yards from Truman, 109 through the air with a terrific pass play there from Truman that eventually led to the touchdown. That touchdown was even contested as Devin Miles reached the football out at the last second, and he fumbled it through the end zone. A touchback was called. The officials overturned that call and said he was down at the 1.
Right.
So there was a lot. Westside was upset about that. There were some unsportsmanlikes there. And so all that aside, Westside did come out of all that with a lead. It felt like momentum was well on Truman's side, but it really you mentioned the Gus Yerta fake punt. Maybe that got a little momentum going back for Westside.
Just enough to not give him the ball back, but we'll see what happens here on this first drive for the Wildcats. And breaking a tackle, not looking too good.
That's Devin Miles. He scored the one touchdown in the first half for Truman, and he takes that back to the 45.
That is the type of start you need in the second half if you're Truman. Get yourselves in plus territory early. Again, you're only trailing by 1. But again, we have seen this Westside defense bend a lot but not break. We've seen a lot of penalties be called. Hopefully we'll just see a cleaner half across the board, especially when it comes to those unsportsmanlikes.
So they only need 45 yards to score here as they start from Westside territory. So that's a good start to the second half for Truman.
Absolutely. Great starting field position.
Eli Evett is in the backfield with Murphy Williams, and you don't ever really know where the snap is going. It can go to either one of those guys. It does go to Evett. Evett goes up the center, rumbles ahead. He's got the first down plus, and a nice start to this second half for the Truman Wildcats.
As one of the Wildcats' best runs of the night. And again, it's just one of those direct snaps right up the middle. And again, Westside, on their heels right now. I don't know if they're going to recover from that crazy ending of the first half.
Evett again, and we've got a penalty.
And it didn't look like everybody was set on that play.
Try to go hurry up. There's your false start.
Yep.
Back them up 5 yards, be first down and 15.
That's the cost for trying to keep the momentum going, trying to catch the defense snoozing after a big gain. You got to settle down, though. You got to make sure everybody's set. And can't afford stupid penalties like that. Can't afford the loss of yards like that.
It's hard to run an up-tempo in high school. Just really, really, I mean, that takes so much. You don't have a ton of practice time in high school to begin with. And you got kids in and out now because of COVID quarantines and everything else. And so that's the kind of stuff you see sometimes. But Truman is moving the football on this drive, still in good field position.
Great read.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
read.
That's a disaster in the backfield for Truman. But how about the defense from Westside?
This Westside defense has really, really impressed me with the type of penetration they're getting up front. We've seen a lot of tackles for a loss. We've seen a couple sacks so far. The reason that Truman is on the board right now is because of their passing game. It's because they move the ball effectively through the air. But on the ground, we have not seen many big plays from Wildcats, and that's because this Warriors team is breaking through the line and kind of wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Edward Wilson leading the way on that tackle. A bunch of other guys there. Darvin Fowler was there. That linebacking core just getting into the backfield. Evett takes it, spins, passes over the top, got him open if he hits him, and just overthrows him. The pass intended for Parks McNair.
Well, Parks McNair, the guy that had the deep bomb earlier in the game. Parks McNair, the guy that caught the ball, got him down to the 1 yard line, and was wide open there again. So Warriors having a hard time stopping him. Obviously, that was going to be a walk-in touchdown had he been hit on that pass. And again, that was where the damage was going to be done for the Wildcats, was through the air in that scenario. But now it brings up 3rd and long, and can't help but wonder if they're going to go back to the air here again.
That was a pretty good-looking pass, though.
Great pass.
Nice spiral. It just overthrew him, and we do know that that's a weapon that's there if they need it. They have thrown the football. Again, a big pass helped set up a touchdown earlier. Williams throws it. It's low and incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th and long for Truman. Seems like Truman's been 4th and long several times tonight, and it's just hard to score when you're that far behind the chains.
That's the thing. It's when you're that far behind the chains, your entire mindset and philosophy changes. Well, your play calls change. You have to think about, do we switch it up and go back to the air? Do we try to get a couple yards on the ground? Everything changes when you lose those yards. And Truman has been, for the most part tonight, unable to even regain those penalty yards. So a lot of credit to Westside there. Just creating the pressure. That sack ended up being the difference maker.
Yerta almost gets in there and blocks it. It's a decent punt. We'll see how the bounce goes, and it's going to get into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback for the Warriors.
Another huge stop for the Warriors here, clinging to that 1-point lead. And they're actually going to have decent field position for once. The last few drives for Westside have started deep in their own territory, usually inside the 15 or 10. So they're going to get it out the 20. Run your offense a little bit more better, a little more methodically now at the 20, not have to be as conservative, being in the shadow of your own end zone.
Westside defensively, I've been really impressed with them. And penalties have gotten them some of those unsportsmanlikes, but on the whole, the pressure has been there. Truman has looked to pass a couple times, and nothing's been there except for one completion. Handoff up the middle to Hedger. He rumbles ahead for a 6-yard gain, 2nd down.
Excellent run there. Again, those positive plays that we're talking about. Westside, hopefully this drive will let them settle down a little bit after, last hectic few drives for them. And again, I agree with you, Blake, on the Westside defense. It's been phenomenal. I mean, that whole unit has been practically unbeatable tonight, with the exception of a few big pass plays. So a lot of credit to them for keeping them in this ball game, and that 2-point conversion stop might end up being the difference maker when it's all said and done.
2nd down and 6. We're here in the 3rd quarter. Westside with a 7-6 lead. Connor Crane gets the carry for the Warriors. Rumbles ahead, 2nd down and going to be 3rd down and 2. 3rd down and 1.
That's a solid, plain off-tackle run by Connor Crane. And one thing, again, that I've mentioned, I really like that Westside continues to mix up their running backs. You're running with Hedger. You run it with your fullback and Fowler. Now we're going to run it with Connor Crane. I mean, each of them with that different skill set, it throws the defense off a lot. Would love to see a bootleg here pretty soon, though, from the Warriors.
Yerta under center. Boy, it seems like forever ago that Colton Carter started under center for Westside, and we didn't really know what was going. We only thought that was the beginning of the confusion. We were confused when the game started, but we didn't know confusion at that point in time. But Yerta's back in. Westside does pick up a 1st down, short rumble ahead, and that's where they are so good, Alex, is those short, that 3rd and short, they're not going to miss many of those.
No, and that's because the way this offense is built, you've got so many guys up there on that line, you have just enough push to get the ball there. And I like that call. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, but on a 3rd and 1, on a 3rd and 2, just do enough to get the yards and to continue to drive and get the 1st down. They did that, and they do it very effectively.
Power I, Fowler, Crane, and Hedger in that order from behind the quarterback. Goes to Hedger. Hedger rumbles up the middle. Bread and butter Westside run for about 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 coming your way.
Exact same play they ran on 1st down on the last drive. Just run up the gut, run to the dive with Hedger. Another 6 yards or so. Big-time positive play, and sets them up. I mean, and that's what Westside has to do. You're not going to see, as we mentioned, any big-time plays from them, explosive plays like we've seen from Truman tonight. But they do just enough to continue to move the chains. And once you get the defense and their heels, on their goal line and their shadow of their end zone, that's when they really do the most damage. So great work so far by the Warriors.
2.5 coming your way. Goes to Hedger. Hedger, he picks up about 3. So it's a 3rd down and probably 2 or 3 yards there. And bread and butter. And looky here.
Here we go.
And it starts again.
We made it about 4 minutes. That's not too bad, right?
We are into it. 7:45 left to play, and we have our first, what I would expect would be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and a personal foul of some sort.
Golly.
And if it's on Westside.
Home cooking, maybe?
I mean, something's happening here. Somebody has upset. They waved it off. Good. Okay, good. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Just let them play.
Yep. Let's roll. We don't need any more. We don't need to see that again. Let's not do that again. Let's just do football.
Right.
Another big 3rd down play coming your way. 7:10 left here in this 3rd. We've already got 2 big 3rd down plays. Westside in your traditional power I. And it goes to Darvin Fowler up the middle, spin move. He's got a guy. He's going to get taken down, but what a run by Darvin Fowler. First down plus.
There's that big play that Westside needed. Big time play there. And watch this. If we get a replay, the handoff, faking it to the left, comes back right. And what a spin move by Fowler to keep the ball going, to keep the drive going. Unbelievable run by the Warriors there. That's a huge first down conversion.
Big time play from Darvin Fowler, and Westside is moving the football. Just what you wanted to see coming out of halftime. Weird ending to that half. Westside had the lead, but you just felt weird about the end of it, and they have come back out, and they are moving the football here.
Well, one thing we're seeing from Westside, too, is some disciplined football. They're hitting their assignments, they're hitting their blocks. Why not go back to Fowler? Not much there, though.
Gets a couple on it, second down. Fowler blocked pretty, or hit pretty quickly. I'm always impressed when you can bring down Fowler that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we said. He's the bruiser. He is the big back for this Westside team. And, you know, you compare him to the likes of Cameron Hedger or Connor Crane or something like that. They're all built and run very, very differently. So not only that was he taken down easily, but how about the run, though? The last run that he had.
Oh, man.
Pretty fast for a big boy.
He is fast. Yeah, he will fool you with the speed. He can't get around the corner. Fowler is out now in the backfield. Hedger keeps it, and a pretty decent gain there, and gives them third and a shot again, and that's what they've done on this drive. They've been on third down now 4 times, but every single time it's been third and manageable. This time it's going to be 3rd and 5.
And that's exactly, again, what they do. Put yourself in third and manageable situations, and this, for me, is 4 down. From here on out is 4 down territory for Westside here because they're running the ball very effectively, and they know that they can get this ball in the end zone. They're going to be sitting really pretty, especially if they get that extra point.
I think you're exactly right. 3rd and 5 from the 31. Montana Neely, the only receiver. It's a bootleg from Yerta. He's in trouble, leaves his feet, and is hit hard by Parks McNair, and that'll bring up 4th down. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, but he was hit hard, and it is 4th down.
You know, that's the bootleg that I was talking about. I really wanted to see Westside pull one of those, but first off, great read by Truman on executing that and not being fooled. But, you know, Yerta's got to sell that a little bit better and just commit. You know, he rolled out, he saw the defense, didn't even try to get to the edge. You know, we just got to see a little bit more execution from Yerta there. But, again, credit to the Wildcats defense for sticking to their assignments. Huge 4th down now.
Yep, 4th down. It is 4 down territory, as you mentioned. 4th and 4. Yerta rolls out to pass. Had Fowler. Hit him in the hands and he dropped it. Turnover on downs. Big stop for Truman.
You know, that is a huge, huge stop for the Wildcats there. I mean, I don't disagree with the call. I'm glad to finally see the Warriors attempt to throw the ball there, but that's a catch that Fowler has to make. You know, he was getting pursued, but Yerta put the ball there where only Fowler could get it. Right through his hands.
Oh, I love the call.
Yeah,
they are not expecting that. It was a good pass from Yerta.
It was.
There was a defender in front of Fowler. He threw it over him. If Fowler catches it, there's about 10 yards of space on the other side of him. Well-executed play. He just dropped it. Again, it is a little more difficult than it looks from where we're at. But, yeah, that play's got to be made. Murphy Williams is taken down.
Again, that penetration from this Westside defensive line is unbelievable. I don't know how many tackles for a loss they've had tonight, but they are making life very difficult for this Truman run game. And again, I'm beginning to think that the only way that Truman can effectively move the ball is through the air.
And again, when they do, unless they roll out, there's no pocket. I mean, at Westside is everywhere. The line has penetrated. Darvin Fowler has penetrated. Edward Wilson, who is the weak side linebacker, is penetrating. It is absolutely, I mean, they're just in the backfield. So with 3:39 left to play, we do have a timeout. Westside has a 7-6 lead. We will be right back on Tubetown.
Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
And welcome back to Truman. Westside has a 7-6 lead over the Wildcats. Hit a second down at about 5 when we come back, as Westside's defense is giving no quarter, as they have been in the backfield really the last probably 2 possessions for Truman. They've just had no room to run.
No room to run, and like you mentioned right before we went to break, that pocket is collapsing so quickly that the only way that Truman can get a pass off is if they roll out with their quarterback. And even then, Westside is doing a phenomenal job of pressuring him and not allowing him to set his feet. So, you know, you begin to think Truman's going to have to find a way to get the ball through the air effectively, and that might be the only way they can move the ball if they want to come back from this 1-point deficit.
Williams passes, overthrows his man. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
And I like the call there again, going back to the air. He had a man there, just overthrew him. That time the pocket didn't collapse. Might have been a shock, honestly. Might have been a shock, and that's why he kind of got a little jittery, overthrew his receiver there. But, again, good call by Truman. Setting up a 3rd and about 5. Actually, no longer than that, 3rd and 9 maybe.
3:36 left to play in the 3rd. And Truman has kind of figured out they're going to have to get it done through the air. And they did that. The one score was a rushing touchdown, but largely aided by a huge connection between Murphy Williams and Parks McNair. Williams goes for McNair again. McNair is hit pretty quickly, though. Good defense, good coverage there in the zone defense, and it's going to be 3rd down for Truman.
The great open field tackle by Montana Neely, too. He breaks that tackle. McNair breaks that tackle. You know, there's no telling what he could have done. He easily could have picked up the 1st down. Those open field tackles, again, continue to impress me by Westside tonight. Not allowing any extra yards after the catch or any extra yards after contact.
4th and 5. Big play coming your way, really.
And this might be a scenario where Truman just tries to draw the Warriors off sides, or we see another quick punt here.
A lot of switching on the offensive line, changing of assignments. Williams keeps it, caught by the feet, reaches forward.
You know, I don't think he got it. It's going to be very, very close.
And it looks like he got it.
And it looks like, you know, that was really, really close to me.
1st down, Truman. So clutch play, big 4th down conversion. 2:45 left to play in the 3rd. And Westside's up by a score. Truman picks up their first movement of the chains of that drive.
And that's huge. I mean, that was really right at the sticks. Got a benefit of a good spot. And Truman now is keeping it alive. Don't be surprised to see him take a shot deep here pretty soon.
Evitt keeps it up the middle, finds a seam, and gets the 1st down. Good run by Eli Evitt.
You know, that's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen Eli Evitt just take the snap, run up the gut, pick up at least 10, 15 yards. So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know?
Absolutely, and the way Truman line, and I like that. The way they line up, there's 2 guys back there. Both of them have their hands up as if ready to receive the snap,
right.
And you don't know which one it's going to. And then when it goes to them, you don't know if they're going to hand it off to the other or if there's going to be a sweep or they're going to keep it or drop back to pass it. We have seen Evitt throw it, not successfully so far. The successful passes have come from Williams, but Evitt has attempted passes tonight. There's Williams throwing. Little bubble screen out to the left-hand side. Good coverage from the Warriors, and it's going to be 2nd down, and that's going to be tackled. They'll probably give him forward progress.
Yeah, a lot of credit again to Westside there. Reading the bubble screen extremely well. Getting some penetration, and the only way that Truman really appears to be able to move the ball is vertically. They're going to have to take more shots down the field because Westside's making open field tackles, and they're really not getting anything going in these short games.
2nd down and 6. Minute 15 left in the 3rd. Williams alone in the backfield. Motion from the right. Fakes the handoff and is tackled by the shoestrings by Darvin Fowler, and he stomps it out.
Talk about that penetration. Darvin Fowler, I mean, he was coming in a blitz package anyways, but what a play, grabbing him by the shoestrings. And look, now again, that makes it 3rd and long again. We've seen that time and time again for Truman. Unbelievable play by Fowler, who's just doing it all tonight.
Those linebackers are in the backfield on almost every play. They're blitzing all night.
Yep.
Sometimes both of them. And they've blitzed off the corners all night. They've blitzed up the middle all night, and it's working. 3rd down and long now for the Wildcats.
Obviously, passing situation here. Wow. And, that was McNair, who has been money all night, has caught just about everything. And he would have been really, really close to the first down marker had he held on to that one. And
he had a little room after the catch.
Westside catching a huge break on that drop. And can't help but feel this is another punting situation for Truman.
Westside had the coverage pegged. The linebackers did stay at home, but they were playing a little up. There was not any coverage there. There was a hole in the zone, but pass was dropped. So it's 4th down punting situation for the Wildcats. It's a short kick, end over end. Does take a decent Truman bounce and goes out of bounds at the 25. What was that flag for?
I think he meant to throw it as a spot. I think he accidentally threw it. Yeah,
he might have been going for his beanbag.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, that's going to get waved off. There was nothing there.
No confusion.
So it's going to start at the 25, so that's a punt. Good defensive series for Westside is just nothing doing, and they'll take over with that 7-6 lead.
And again, we're getting down to crunch time, Blake. We got 1 quarter left after this, and had it not been for a few big pass plays, Truman would not be on the board right now. So Westside's defense just needs to continue to do this just one more time, a couple more stops. And I think they'll have this thing in the bag because of how well their offense takes care of the football and how much time they're able to waste off the clock.
Yurda cramped up during that last defensive series, and he kind of comes in at the last minute. You might have seen him sprint on. He was stretching his leg out, but he is back on to run the offense for the Warriors, and we got a penalty. It's going to be a delay of game unless there was a timeout called. Westside takes the 5-yard penalty. Excuse me.
Yeah, 5 yards to the 20, yeah.
That's 5 yards, right?
Yeah, just delay game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just nothing.
PA announcer said 15. And with this, I don't trust anything.
I was like,
I don't,
why not?
We don't know what is what.
Just keep adding to our confusion.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, what happened on that kickoff at the end of the first half was not right.
No,
that was not the way that was supposed to work. But that's neither here nor there. Cameron Hedger carries out to the right side. They're behind the chains. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to take us to the end of the third quarter with Westside at 2nd and 15. They do have that 1-point lead. We're going to take you to break at the end of the third. It's 7-6 Westside. We'll be right back.
Begins with a click. And just like that, you were immersed in a world of wonder. Education, entertainment, information. Connect with family and friends from around the block or around the world. So when it's time to connect, Ritter Communications will be there to make it happen. With speeds up to 1 gig. Ritter Communications, connecting you to what's important.
And welcome back to Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. Denver's Refrigeration, also a sponsor of our First Downs and, of course, the First National Bank Touchdowns. We appreciate all the sponsors for making this possible, as Westside has a 7-6 lead here in Truman. They are behind the chains. It is 2nd down and 15.
Again, bad start for Westside on that drive. You get that delay game penalty, and then just a tackle for no game. But you can't help it. If you're Westside, you're on the road right now. I guess as we mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, a hostile Truman environment always brings the energy. You're clinging to a 1-point lead. Your defenses have been playing lights out. You've overcome a lot of adversity with the amount of penalties we've seen. And you own the ball right now, and if you can pick up a few first downs, you can really milk this clock and put the pressure on the Wildcats.
Yurda keeps it. Not much there. It's going to get him
back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like. Picked up the penalty yards again.
Yeah, right back to a little short of the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 11. And this has been something else.
I mean, what a game, though. We've seen literally just a little bit of everything. The good and the bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is a game I'm going to talk about for a long time.
Right, absolutely.
Do have a score update. Jonesboro is trailing El Dorado right now 20-14. 3:40 left in the 3rd quarter.
And we got another penalty.
That one came out from the line judge. Westside's backing up. It's going to be a false start. Offsides. Oh, look at that one.
Wow.
Westside took off backwards like it was on them. And
yeah. I didn't see any offsides there, actually, but
who knows? So that helped them pretty significantly. This is 3rd and manageable. It's 3rd and 6. I mean, it's not perfect, but you are way better than where you were at a while ago at 3rd and 11. Greene County Tech leads Forest City 42-0 with 6 left in the 3rd. Little score update. Wow. Greene County Tech's having a good year.
And there we go. Let's go ahead and give it right back. Send it right back.
There's your false start. Yep. So we're back to 3rd and 11. It was 3rd and 11, then it was 3rd and 6. Now it's 3rd and 11 again.
You know, if anything, that just took a few seconds off the clock.
Yep.
Helps Westside tiny bit.
10:44 left to play in the game, and I'm glad you mentioned that because, again, Westside can dominate clock. You know, you got to imagine, even if they don't convert here, they can get a stop. They can eat a ton of clock in a hurry, so that is a factor in this game. Truman's going to have to throw the ball, so
absolutely.
That's going to keep some time on the clock for them. There's Hedger. Looky here.
What a run.
Up the sideline. He's got nobody to beat, and he is gone. Cameron Hedger for 6. It's a 2-score lead for Westside.
And Blake, I don't want to get too far ahead of us, but that is a dagger for Truman. What a run by Cameron Hedger. We got a replay there. He just came off the right side, right tackle run. No one touched him, went untouched. And if you're Truman, that's the one thing that you can't have happen. On 3rd and 11, deep in Westside own territory, and you allow Hedger to break out a run like that, potentially put this game up by 8. Again, that extra point or that 2-point conversion from earlier could end up being very costly for Truman. What a run from Hedger. That's the big play that Westside's been looking for really all season long.
70-yard touchdown run from Cameron Hedger. He now has both scores for the Warriors, and the extra point is good. It is 14-6 as Westside has gone up by a touchdown on the legs of Cameron Hedger. We'll be right back here on Tubetown.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
How big has Cameron Hedger been for these Westside Warriors this year? All the scoring coming on his back, and he has done it once again. He's put the Warriors up 14-6 with a 70-yard touchdown run on a 75-yard drive from the Warriors. 10:15 left to play in this game.
I still can't get over that run by Cameron Hedger again. We have been talking about seeing a Westside explosive play like that for the last few weeks, and we finally got it. It couldn't have come at a better time to give his team a little bit of insurance. The worst possible, and an onside kick.
How big could this be?
I think Bobby Ingle's lost his mind.
Wildcats do get it. Aggressive play there for the Wildcats. It's one of those things, if that pays off, we're talking about it one way, and at this point,
You know, I look at it from the perspective of Bobby Engel, and you say, you know, if you get it, you pretty much almost put the game out of reach. They can waste so much time, and a touchdown would definitely do that.
Oh, you go for the throat there. Yeah.
You know, if you don't get it, he clearly has enough faith in his defense, has been playing lights out all night, to say, hey, you know, I think we can get another stop. In worst case scenario, the worst Truman can do is tie. So I see it from both sides, but a very gutsy call by the Warriors there.
Seeing nothing to indicate that this defense can't get a stop. Handoff out left side, and Darvin Fowler in the backfield again.
Unbelievable. What can this guy not do? What can't he do?
Look at our guy, Darvin.
Living in the backfield all night. The brilliant diving shoelace tackle. Did that earlier on the sack. Again, he has been the anchor of this defense tonight. Unreal.
Dustin Wright on the carry there for the Wildcats, and that blitz coming in from the linebacker's position. Fowler just has a nose for the football. 9:30 left to play in this game, and Westside up 14-6, second and 14. Snap to Williams. Williams throwing it deep over the top. Neely on defense, hands straight up in the air. We're going to get a pass interference.
Yeah, and you know, that, a lot of people disagree, but that is the correct call. Face guarded the entire way through, stuck his hands up. You've got to be able to turn around and look at the ball. Got to get those shoulders around, and he didn't even attempt to do that.
Yep. It was good coverage. He had him smothered, but you got to try to make a play on the ball. You can't just blindly wave around in the air and bump into the guy. So Montana Neely hit with a pass interference, and that's a big first down for Truman because defensively Westside had played a tremendous series there.
Well, you know, if that pass falls incomplete, no penalty or anything like that, you know, it is third and probably about 15 yards for Truman, and they have been really unable to get anything going on these third and long situations. But now they are into Westside territory, have plenty of time on their side. That is a huge, huge penalty for them.
Costly penalty for them, moves it up 15 yards. First and 10 coming for the Wildcats. And again, the passing play has been what they've had to go to. We've seen them try to move the ball on the ground, and it's just not happening. With that linebacking core, the Westside's winning up front. It's allowing for the penetration of the linebackers.
You know, and I will say that, you know, one thing that makes Darvin Fowler so good on defense at his linebacking position, he's so difficult to block. He's coming off the edge on those blitzes, and his size makes him so difficult.
Williams with a big carry here as he finds some room.
Looks like that's good enough for another first down.
Yeah, it's really close. First down for the Wildcats. One guy signaled first down. Looks like that's a first down. First down, Wildcats. 9 minutes left in this football game, and boy, this could get interesting in a hurry.
Yeah, you know, if Truman's able to punch this thing in, you know, they're going to have to obviously go for two. They didn't get it last time. This is going to be a very exciting 30 yards here.
Evitt takes the snap this time, rumbles up the middle for a gain of 4. Second down and 6.
Another positive run play here, and you can't help but think maybe Truman gets a little more conservative inside the 30 now. They've been trying to air it out a little bit. They've done it effectively. Well, now you're inside the 30, you can get back to what you want to do, running the ball, getting 4 or 5 yards per play, and obviously plenty of time to do that too.
And you've talked about it a couple of times now, the missed two-point conversion, really the stopped two-point conversion where Westside just stuffed it at the goal line. That could be big here. Evitt rumbles ahead again. Just shy of the first down marker, but it is going to be third and about 1.
You know, the Wildcats is going back to the legs of Eli Evitt. You know, he had a couple of huge runs earlier in this half, back in the third quarter, about 10 to 20-yard runs right up the gut. Would not be surprised at all to see him do it again here on 3rd and 1. Why not? He's big enough to go ahead and just barrel his way through, give him a new set of downs, and the Wildcats now in the red zone.
Snap goes to Evitt right up the middle, and that's all he needed. First down for the Wildcats, and they officially enter the red zone.
3 straight plays, Evitt's just taking the direct snap, going right up the gut, and you know, Westside not having much of an answer for that right now.
We're going to be on the 18. 7:37 left to play in this ball game, and Westside hanging on to this one-score lead. It is a one-score and a two-point conversion would be needed at this point if you were Truman. Again, just big stop by Gavin Rasden and Cameron Hedger at the goal line there to stop that two-point conversion back in the first half as Evitt rumbles ahead for a gain of 2, second down and 8.
Yeah, again, that's the fourth straight play now. We've seen Evitt just take off up the gut. I think they're going to finally switch it up now on second long. They keep going with him if they're picking up the chunk yards, 4 to 5 yards, but that one was not as much as they were banking on. So you're going to see Truman switch it up offensively here because, again, it's 4-down territory from here on out.
Snap goes to Williams, goes left side between the tackles, and he moves ahead for another gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. 6.5 left to play in the ball game.
And you know, Blake, you kind of have to think through what Truman's going through right now is saying, all right, they feel very confident they can score. Do we feel confident that Westside can get down the field in 4 minutes to get a field goal or a touchdown if, of course, Truman were able to go and tie this thing up? So, you know, from a Wildcats perspective, I'm thinking, hey, you know, we can keep wasting all the time we want because I don't have faith in Truman moving the ball down there that quickly. Or Westside, I should say.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, at this point, you may only have this drive and one more before the horn. So, and Westside does take a timeout. We're going to take it with them. 6:07 left to play in this game. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
Westside trying to come up with a big defensive stop in the red zone. It is 4th and short.
Huge
well, this
play
could
coming
be
up
big.
for Westside.
This could be gigantic. And you come up with a stop here. Westside's ability to move the football tonight, their ability to run the clock. 2 timeouts. Truman does have 2 timeouts.
And like you said, you know, if they were to get a stop here, if Westside were to stop them here, Truman might only get one more drive, one more possession, if that, if Westside's unable to run the clock out. So this is huge.
4th and 1. Snap goes directly to Parks, and I think he got it.
Yeah, marker's at the 7. I think he got to about the 6 if you're spotting the ball. So, all right, now it really is 4-down territory. 6 yards out from getting into the end zone here.
Should be 1st and goal for the Wildcats. That's a big pickup. It was 4th and short. Just a quick up the gut by Parks McNair, and it's 1st and goal.
We've been talking all night about Westside's defense. They're bending but not breaking. Will they keep bending here, or are they finally going to break?
5:50 left to play, and we have a flag on the play.
And a huge one, too.
This could be big depending on which direction this goes. Should be on Truman. That's a big, big penalty right there.
Huge penalty. Now 1st and goal from the 11 versus the 6. Your entire play calling scheme's changed now from 11 yards out.
5:50 left to play in this game. Truman is now 13 yards from the end zone on 1st and goal. So 1st and goal from the 13. Truman needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. Williams runs it up the middle, rumbles ahead. He's put them back into scoring position, and he is taken down by some Warriors. Pretty good tackling to stop his momentum from going forward, but nonetheless, he's inside of the 5.
That is huge. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Huge,
right.
First down pickup for Truman. And if I'm Truman, I'm giving the ball to Eli Evitt right now.
There's a fumble. Fumble on the play. I believe Truman got on top of it. It's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 4. And, oh, that would have been just an absolute disaster. That cannot happen.
Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. I don't know how Westside didn't fall on that. They had so many Warriors around that ball.
It was just laying there.
Wow.
It laid there for a second and a half or seconds, and it was like nobody knew it was there.
Wow.
That snap went to absolutely nobody. It just bounced off of Truman. So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah.
Everything on the line here.
I do think they go to Everett here.
Goes to Williams. Williams up the gut. I think he's in. Touchdown, Truman.
Wow.
They're within 2.
What a gutsy drive by the Wildcats. But ultimately, all comes down to this right here.
Yeah, and this is what happened. They missed the 2-point conversion. It was stopped on a very good play by Westside in the 2nd quarter. And this is what this is set up, so they've got to have the 2-point conversion at time. I'll tell you, at 4:22, there is absolutely no guarantee, even with 2 timeouts, that Truman could get here. No. So you've got to get this in and tie this game and force Westside to try to move it down the field.
Absolutely. I'm curious to see what they go with here. Do they go with a little jump pass possibly from Everett? Been bulldozers so far tonight. They are going to throw the ball. He's got a man.
Caught it. Juggled it and caught it, but the 2-point conversion is good, and we are all square at 14. Take a look at this on the replay, and I thought for a second, Williams with the pass to Dawson Schubert, juggles it, but collects. We are all square at 14.
Wow. Wow. The last 3 plays, the fumble, the touchdown, the juggle 2-point conversion, unbelievable. Unbelievable finish that we're having here in Truman tonight.
What a game. I asked before we went to break, I said, are you not entertained? And that was for a completely separate reason at the time, but we've moved on to just a good old-fashioned shootout here and what has been a pretty slow, methodical driving game for both teams, but somehow this feels like a shootout.
It
With
does.
4:22 left to play, we're all square at 14.
Well, and Blake, I will say 4:22 is plenty of time for Westside to still run their offense, to still get down there, get them in field goal range. Obviously, end zone would be preferred, but 4:22 with a few timeouts, plenty of time for them to run what they need to do.
Absolutely. So we're square. That was not the way you wanted it to go. Westside looked so good defensively all night and just couldn't hold back a charging group of Wildcats on a slow, methodical drive that ate up a big chunk of time off the clock. So Westside will receive. It's a short kick. Picked up by Yerta. Yerta goes up the sideline, steps out of bounds, and it's going to be good field position for the Warriors. They will start their drive with 4:18 left to play in this game.
Excellent field position to start. And if you are Bobby Engel, if you're Westside, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pounding with Fowler and Hedger and try to get the ball to the outside a little bit. Try to get the ball to the outside, pick up a couple chunk yardage plays, and continue to waste the clock. Because if I'm Westside, I'm not giving Truman the ball back at all. We're either going to overtime or winning this thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're not going to get a shot at it. We are. And again, this sets up well for them. They don't have to be in a hurry.
No.
But they can move it methodically down the field, and we've seen them do that all night. 3 in the eye for Westside. Goes to Hedger up the gut, picks up 6, if not 7. That's a good first down run for the Warriors.
And Hedger looks a little shaken up on that play there.
Well, he got hit at the legs pretty good.
Walking a little gingerly, but probably give him a break on this play here.
Under 4 minutes left to play in this game. Can the Warriors drive down and break the tie? This is a tough situation as a head coach if you're Truman thinking about timeouts. Fowler drives ahead, picks up the first down. Huge first down for Darvin Fowler. Stops the clock just momentarily to move the chains, but it will continue. It's 3:38, all square at 14. But kind of what I was mentioning, this is tough for the defensive coach here.
Absolutely.
When you start talking about timeouts, because, you know, Westside can run you out of time, but you don't want to waste them just in case you need them deeper into the game. This is a hard place to be a head coach.
Well, it is, and the way I'm looking at it right now is, Westside's still 40 yards out. They are probably still another 20, 25 yards away from even being in field goal range. I wouldn't be using your timeouts yet if you're Truman. And of course, they're trying to get a quick stop. Of course, 3 straight stops here and then get the ball back briefly. But then again, you'd have none on the offensive side of the ball to go at least 80-plus yards. So you're right. It's a very difficult spot to be in. If I'm Truman, I'm sitting on those. I'm probably sitting on those for the rest of the game.
2nd and 7. You might think about it if you got into a 3rd and long.
Right.
3rd or 4th and long, you might think about it. But it'd be good to have them on offense if you did get the ball back. So
absolutely.
2nd and 7. Yurda, bootleg, does get a couple, but minimal at most. 3rd down and 5. Big 3rd down play coming your way, and Westside's probably in 4-down territory here.
Well, they're definitely in 4-down territory. You're about 5 yards away from this 1st down. If you don't get it, you got to get it to try to keep the drive alive and get field goal range. No way they're going to punt it back to Truman. So, yeah, it's definitely 4-down territory for sure.
2 minutes left to play in this game. We are right at the 2-minute mark. 3rd down and 5. Here comes Westside. All square at 14. Hedger up the middle. Met by some Wildcats. Gains 3. It's going to be 4th and 2 with under 2 minutes left to play. It is 4th down.
If I'm Truman, I probably do take a timeout right here because if you get a stop on 4th down, you're going to want as much time as possible with decent field position to get yourself in field goal position. So it doesn't appear they're going to do that, but this is where I would take one if I'm the Wildcats.
Westside, we would assume, would have to get probably around the 10 to even think about a field goal. We would assume. We don't know that for sure, but they're going to take their time. It's 4th and short, and this could be really, really big. 1 minute, 15 seconds left on the clock. 4th down and 2. Here we go. To Hedger. Hedger picks it up with Wildcats on his back, and he is in the red zone with 1 minute and 2 seconds left to play in this game. What a run by Cameron Hedger. Let's take a look at it again.
Again, just coming off that right tackle. Great fake of the handoff by Yurda. And Hedger just literally carrying the team on his back. And, Westside now is probably about, as you mentioned, Blake, about 10 yards away from being in prime field goal position. But if I am the Warriors, there is some sense of urgency. Clock's still ticking.
1st and 10, 45 seconds left. Hedger out to the left side. Good defensive tackle. We might have a face mask or a horse collar on Truman. Clock stops at 38 seconds here, and there's certainly going to be a penalty on the tackle.
And this penalty is huge. I mean, that just sets Westside up already in field goal position, and it's a matter of after that, they go for the end zone or wow.
Oh, that's gigantic. That's going to put them at 1st and goal with 38 seconds left to go. And we are officially at that point that you have permission to chew your fingernails off.
Well, I got to be really, really impressed with Westside. We didn't know if they would be able to get down the field as quickly. We knew they had the time, but could they get down the field? Cameron Hedger, a few big plays, a huge face mask penalty. They are in prime position to win this ball game. Clock's ticking, though. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left, tied up at 14. 1st and goal. Up the middle, Darvin Fowler rumbles ahead to the 3, and Westside will take a timeout to stop the clock.
At least you'd think they would.
They're going to run one more. 15 seconds left to play. And now here's the timeout. We do have our kicker here on the sideline. He looks ready to go. Hayden Alls is the kicker for the Warriors. So it's 2nd down, 14 seconds left to play, tied at 14. Hayden Alls is standing on the sideline. You would imagine with one more timeout that Westside would try to run one more play for the end zone here because the kick, and again, nothing against Hayden Alls, you're just not a field goal kicking team. That's not what you do. You got to try to get it in the end zone because the field goal is not a sure thing at this point.
I 100% agree with that. If I am Westside right now, I am giving the ball Darvin Fowler, your biggest back on the team right now, running it right up the middle. You get a touchdown, it's the ball game. If you don't get it, great, call timeout, then you can't line for the field goal. But you're right, in high school football, and especially with Westside, who again is not a field goal kicking team, so much can go wrong with a kick attempt. So I think you have to try to get in the end zone this last play before you line up for it.
If you get down here, you don't get it, it gets to 5 seconds or so, that's when you bring out the kicker to try to prevent overtime. But
Exactly.
you're going to run one more play here. You do have your kicker still standing on the sideline. We do believe the kicker would be Hayden Alls.
Yeah.
Would be our kicker. Again, we've not seen a field goal from Westside this year, but Alls does the kickoffs typically. All right, so here we go. Second down, 14 seconds left to play. Westside's going to take one shot at the end zone before a field goal attempt, if necessary.
Expect him to go to the right here to line up down the middle.
Hand off to Hedger. The ball is stripped. It's on the ground, and Truman has it. The ball is stripped, and Truman has it. With 9 seconds left to play, it seemed like victory was in Westside's hands, and a great defensive play strips the ball from Cameron Hedger, and the Wildcats have the ball with 9 on the clock.
I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. Cameron Hedger, who has been playing lights-out football, just coughed up the ball inside the 5-yard line. If you're Westside there, I agree with the call, run to the right. If you get down, you line up for the field goal, but it almost looked like they were settling there just to go set up down the middle. Weren't even trying to go up the middle to get in the end zone.
You had to run one more play.
You did.
The field goal's not definite, and you could see it. I could see it from here. I could see it on our screen. The ball was just stripped.
It was.
The defenders, they knew. You had to go for the football. You had to force a turnover because Westside was in striking distance. And with 9 seconds left, Truman may just take a knee this deep in their territory. We will see how aggressive they want to be. It's a high snap, run out to the left side, and he'll go out of bounds with 4 seconds left to play. So still not quite to where we're thinking about overtime yet. 4 seconds left.
And you wonder, does Truman try to take a shot deep? They've been beat. Westside's been beat once before tonight. Do they try to take one last shot? Hope for the best, or they decide to do what they did again, run the ball and go to overtime?
Well, now you can get it to the horn. So, you could think about, really throwing a pass,
right,
hook and ladder, something like that, because the horn's going to sound, so as long as you get a tackle, even on a pick, you're okay here. But we'll see. This is still deep. We're on the 15. 4 seconds left. This should get us to the end of regulation. Williams out to the right side. Westside's in prevent, and it works effectively. And that does, in fact, get us to the horn. So we are not done yet here in Truman. We are all square at 14, and we are headed to overtime. Folks, we have a game on our hands. We'll be right back. Westside Warriors football on Tubetown.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
And welcome back to Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. We have a little less than 5 minutes before the start of an overtime period, and it is hard to know where to start to describe everything that we've seen in this game. But the best way to put it is that Westside was second and goal from inside of the 10. There was about 14 seconds left on the clock. They ran one more play, which looked to be a setup for a field goal, and Cameron Hedger was stripped of the ball, and Truman collected it to send us to overtime. Prior to that, though, Williams kept it for a touchdown run and then was able to convert a 2-point conversion to tie it up at 14 with only 4 minutes left. So clutch play from Truman down the stretch.
An unbelievable play from this Truman defense. Again, I was speechless after the play happened. I'm still speechless now at how that unfolded. Because, Westside made the right choice. I don't blame Bobby Engel at all for choosing to go to one more play, for going to the right. but you had to stress the importance of they're going to go for the strip. That's the only thing they have. So just tuck it. Even if Cameron had just fallen down, it would have been better than what they did, getting a chance to line up and win that game. So now you enter overtime, and you can't help but think and wonder. Obviously, all the momentum is on Truman's side right now. And inside the red zone, inside the 25-yard line, I would say that Truman has been the better team. So it's going to be interesting to see how Westside's defense responds after getting the life sucked out of them, and whether or not Truman can get one last stop against this Westside power run game.
So tied at 14. It's, man, what a game. I mean, we saw a lot of penalties in the first half. We saw a kickoff from the 15-yard line of the receiving team, an onside kick that was almost recovered by Truman. And there's just been a lot go on. The game has been a little chippy. I wouldn't say it's been necessarily chippy between the two teams. It's been chippy between Westside and the officiating crew. So I think that would be a better description. I haven't really seen the two teams be just extremely chippy with one another, but
yeah, you'd say they would be because of the amount of unsportsmanlike conducts we've seen, but all of those have somehow gone against Westside.
Every one of them. I mean, I think there's been maybe one on Truman, but what we've seen, and it's clearly that we don't know what happens out there. We don't know what's said, but the kickoff from the 15, and I'm always really good. I'm good. Officials are pretty good about after they'll watch a broadcast of us, they'll text me and tell me what happened. But fortunately, I don't normally get that till the next day.
Sure.
And I don't pretend like we know everything up here, but I've never seen anything like that.
No.
This has been a tremendous game. It's had a little bit of everything. When you do look at it, you want controversy. That's fun. That makes it fun. Let's call it what it is. That makes it fun. You want it to be close, and we're in overtime. So we've got everything at this point.
Absolutely. And I will say, I feel like, going all the way back to the beginning of this broadcast, we talked about how well Truman had played in their 2 wins. Blowout victories over Harrisburg and another blowout victory over Paragould. And, I don't know many people thought that Westside had as much of a chance in this game. Not necessarily to get blown out, but to necessarily hang in there and win this game. They've set themselves an opportunity to do that. So I think they've exceeded expectations in the way they've played. The question is now, in overtime, knowing you were literally 14 seconds from winning the game, how does Westside respond? That's what we have to watch out for here in the next few minutes.
So overtime is fun. It's fun in every way, shape, or form. It's
stressful.
It's stressful. It's really fun, though, with the way that they do it in high school football.
Yes.
So we get the football here at the 10. Truman will get the football at the 10. This is similar to college football rules. They get it at the 10 as opposed to the 25. But it's very similar rules to what you would see. Each team will get a chance at it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No NFL, no sudden death around here.
No, I can't stand that.
No, not at all.
It goes to Evan, almost bobbles it. He rumbles up the middle.
Ball security tonight.
Absolutely. And Truman almost had the exact same thing happen to them. They fumbled it. The ball laid on the ground for a few minutes, was picked up near the end of regulation before that touchdown.
Right.
And almost happened again there, but now it's 2nd down and goal. This is where that defense of Westside, which has been good tonight, could come up big for you. Could win the game for you, really.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing. Westside's defense has played so well. 14 points they held Truman, who had been just lighting it up on the scoreboard lately. And, they deserve to get this victory. Just can they hold up right here for one last time?
Williams out to the right side, and there's that Westside
Excellent
defense.
tackle.
Montana Neely gets him around the legs and gets some help from his teammates. It's going to be 3rd and goal, and there is a flag. Watch this replay here. Watch Montana Neely get in here. Now, this could be negated depending on who this penalty is on. Spins him around, gets some help.
I don't know where. Sounds like it's on Westside. Not sure.
See what the call is here.
Wow.
So that moves it up half the distance to the goal, since we were inside of the 15. So it's 2nd down and 5 now. You replay that previous down.
You know, that was going to force a 3rd and long for
big.
Truman. And, yeah, that's just a big penalty there. And a penalty that I didn't even see on our replay. So.
Couldn't see it. There was a lot going on in there. Obviously, the line judge there, I believe the line judge, Eddie Hillis, had a better look at it than we did. So we'll keep that one going. So we are going to take a break. We are in overtime. We are tied at 14. And we're going to take it with them real quick. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
2nd and goal, we're in overtime. Truman just got the help of a hands to the face penalty on Westside, so they move half the distance at 2nd down and 5. Coming out of the timeout, Williams with the snap, runs out right side. He's met by Westside defenders, and that Westside defense still holds up, and it's going to be 3rd and goal.
Again, it's another great push by that defensive line from Westside. Exactly what they did before they got that penalty. It was the same exact play run by Truman. Westside wasn't fooled by it again. So 3rd and 5, and I have a feeling that Truman's going to run this ball to the left because worst case scenario, they get stopped and their field goes right down the middle if they choose to do that. So it'd be interesting to see what the exact play call here is for the Wildcats.
3rd and goal. Overtime rules just
and
throws it
pass.
Away. There is no tackle box in high school football, so keep this in mind. They're going to say there was a receiver in the area.
I'm not so sure about that. That was clearly behind the line of scrimmage. That was definitely a backwards pass.
So it's going to be 4th and goal. And here's the deal. Here's what you got to remember about this. This is overtime, so if they force a stop, they get the ball. They go back to their 10. It's
right.
Now Westside's turn. So, you just need to stop here. You ain't got to worry about field position. They're not going to march the length of the field. So this is a huge play right here. And I will tell you one that defensively you got to feel pretty confident about Westside because they've been coming up with big stops so far.
Exactly, and I feel like this is a passing down here. 4th and 5. They haven't had much success on the ground. We got a Westside timeout, it looks like.
That's a good timeout by Westside. I like that timeout. And it's obvious Truman doesn't feel comfortable. They are on the right hash. They don't feel comfortable with a field goal at this point. And, again, if you do that, you got to remember, Westside gets the ball at the 10. They're a heavy run team. You've not stopped them very well tonight. So if you kick the field goal, there's a pretty good chance you'll lose this game.
Absolutely.
So you're going to go for the touchdown, and I like that call. I think that's a good call because I don't know that you can stop Westside from the 10.
No, you're right. You're right. With the way their offense is run, you pick up a 6-yard chunk on the first play, you're looking really, really good. So we've seen this all night. 10 yards is nothing for the Warriors. So I think you have to go if you're Truman, and I think this is a passing down if you're the Wildcats because, again, you really haven't been able to run the ball very effectively against Westside.
There's no way I'd go back to a run play here.
No,
you've got to take a shot at the end zone, and if you don't get it, you go back and you play defense and hope for the best on the other side. Set the stage for you. We're square at 14. We are in overtime. Overtime rules, you start from the 10, so it begins at 1st and goal from the 10. We're now at 4th and goal from the 5. Truman has the ball. This is the first possession of overtime. So Westside will get the football after this regardless. If it's a stop, they'll go to the Truman 10, and they'll make an attempt at it. If Truman scores, same difference. Truman looks like, though, they're going to forego the field goal and go for the touchdown attempt here. It is 4th and 5. This is big.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a sprint out to the left and potential throwback to the right here if you're Truman. No wideouts.
Williams to pass out left side, and it is incomplete, and Westside gets the stop. What a defensive stand by the Westside Warriors.
Huge defensive stand, and that was a very odd play by Truman there. Drop back to pass. We saw Williams drop back to pass and had a receiver in the area, but he was double coverage. He didn't even try to run. Ball wasn't even placed well. That was a very questionable call, and it felt like it was rushed almost by the Wildcats. But if I'm Westside, I'm not complaining with that.
So Westside, and what I love about high school too, they don't flip ends of the field. I think that's great.
Yes.
So Westside gets the football from the 10. Like I said, that's overtime rules. So a Westside score wins it. A field goal or a touchdown wins it here for Westside.
And if you're Westside, just don't psych yourself out. Last time you were in this position, you fumbled the ball away. So let's just take care of it this time. No matter what, put yourself in a spot where you can win it.
Here we go, overtime, tied at 14, first and goal.
And
a fumble, it's on the ground, and it's picked up by Truman. 2 consecutive fumbles for the Westside Warriors in the red zone.
Blake, they might have been just better off just lining up and kicking the field goal on first down. I mean, this is kind of getting ridiculous.
Well, you're going to have to think about it the next go-around.
And it was just going to be right now.
Yep.
I mean, you just fumbled the ball away. Now you're going to line back up with your offense again.
That's it, because you've lost the advantage
right.
of having second at this point.
Right.
And so Westside will go at it again from the 10-yard line. The only difference is now Truman will have the shot.
Wow. If you're Westside, what is the morale like on your sideline right now? 2 opportunities to win the game, and you have literally fumbled them away. That one was just a fumbled snap by Yerta.
There's,
no excuse for that one.
Any way you cut this has been difficult. Westside lines up, and we got a flag. So I'm gonna clarify something here. Talk to kind of my crew here. I do believe Truman recovered a fumble, and that we are in the second overtime period.
Right.
Which would mean that Truman would get the ball next. I do believe that because they do lose the privilege of the second possession in the second overtime.
Exactly.
So to be clear, I believe that's what's happening. Is it okay?
Yep.
We want to make sure we're clear to everybody here, and so we're first and 5 now after the penalty.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty. Actually benefiting Westside this time.
Yes.
So 1st and 5. They should be able to, knock on wood, they get the ball in the end zone.
Fowler rumbles up the middle. That's a good
back.
stop there for Truman.
That's a good push by the Wildcats.
I like going to Darvin Fowler there, though.
I agree. I think with a back as big as Fowler, you have to keep pushing him and using him in this situation.
So 2nd and goal from the 4. And looks like Westside's going to go for the field goal here on 2nd down. And again, I do believe we're in the second overtime period. We are listed as 6 on the quarter. So, I do believe that Truman's going to get another possession after this.
It's an odd choice to.
Kick is up, and it's good.
Well,
Westside wins it. What a win for the Westside Warriors. Imagine that.
Blake, I'm still a little confused. The game wasn't over. Westside didn't even know.
Yeah, I believe. Here's the deal. I still believe we're in the second overtime period.
We are in the second overtime, which means Westside has the ball first. Regardless of what had happened on that first possession, Truman would get the ball back. But Westside.
I just judged by their reaction that they knew they had won the game, but I thought.
This game was far from over, and that's poor coaching by Westside. And I will say that. They should have been aware of what was going on in this game. They have now committed unsportsmanlike conduct for rushing the field when the game was not over, which sets up Truman with solid field position. And they chose to kick a field goal, which means Truman is now a touchdown away from winning this game in the second overtime.
Right. Whatever happened shouldn't negate the field goal. It was after the play. Now, again, and I said this before, that I believed we were in the second overtime, which means that Truman would get a shot at the possession. I think Westside was not under that understanding. I think they thought that the fumble had been negated. Again, we're speculating here because we're not down on the field. The officials are not mic'd up in these games, but we sat there and thought that. And, my apologies, because I judged by Westside's reaction.
Right.
I figured they would know if they had won the game.
Sure.
But at this point, I believe that you're exactly right, Alex, was that we were in the second overtime. Westside lost the benefit of the second possession, so Truman was going to get another shot. They kicked a field goal thinking it was for the win.
Right.
Went to celebrate, but the game was not over.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and that was the problem. I thought it was odd that Westside chose to kick a field goal on second down from the 5-yard line. It made no sense. And they did that. Yes, they got it. But now Truman will have the ball inside the 5. A touchdown wins the game for them. Bobby Engel made a major mistake there without knowing what was happening. You got to know the rules.
And again, I reiterate, the officials aren't mic'd up at this level, but the best we can tell that's what just happened, because there was a fumble recovery. I saw nothing that indicated on the previous possession by Westside. Then they immediately lined back up from the 10. That's one of the problems about not switching ends, is there's not a lot of clarity there.
And we've got something going on the Westside sideline. Someone's getting ejected, it looks like.
And this has been an all-around crazy game. There's been a lot going on. It's high emotional. It's a tight game.
I don't know who's been ejected on the Westside sideline.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this from the beginning. The coaches can sort this out. Coaches show emotion. Players are involved in the game. But there's a group of fans over there to the far side that are absolutely letting the officials have it. And I'm going to say this. I think the officials are right in this case.
They are.
It was the second overtime period. And to defend them, I think they're right here. And I don't think they they don't have to be subjected to any kind of abuse from that side.
Not at all. Not
and
at all.
The coaching staff will get it sorted out. It is a rough situation. There is an unsportsmanlike on. Now, that shouldn't negate the field goal. So it's 17-14. And I will say this. Let's call the game like it is. Let's move on from this other stuff. It was 17-14. A touchdown does win it by Truman.
Right.
But, hey, there's nothing to say here. Westside can't get a stop. Now,
not at all. No, not at all.
They're half the distance because of the penalty, I would assume. So they're probably going to be at the 5.
Right. But Westside's defense has been amazing so far tonight. If they can force Truman into a field goal here, it changes everything. But, again, it does put their backs up against the wall. Very tough situation.
There's been a lot happen in this entire game. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not going to lie, I've loved every minute of it. I've loved every minute of it. But this is big. So a touchdown wins it for Truman. A field goal would tie. You could bet they've got their mind on a touchdown. Evitt keeps it up the middle. He is stopped short at the 2-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal from the 2. Again, a touchdown wins it. And just listen to this crowd.
Well, they've been through just as much as we have. You know? I mean,
that's a great point. This is the passion of high school football, and we got a timeout called by the Warriors. Man, we're going to go to break real quick. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Second and goal in the second overtime. It's the actual second overtime. There was some confusion about that earlier, but we were in the second overtime. From the 2-yard line, a touchdown wins it for Westside. A field goal would tie, but the Wildcats are knocking on the door. And in a game where Westside has had every opportunity, Truman could absolutely steal one here. It's your time for the defense. Evitt in the backfield, ready to take the snap, keeps it up the middle. Truman for the win.
Got it.
Absolute pandemonium in Truman as the Wildcats win it 20-17.
You know, this game literally had everything. It had I mean, great plays, great players. And I think the whole thing will just be marred by controversy and confusion. I think that's the one word you can use to describe what we saw tonight. Pure confusion.
I can honestly say I have never seen a football game that way. In that way.
No.
Go to halftime that way.
and you know, you can't help but feel for Westside. They dominated this game from what felt like start to finish and just came up on the wrong end of it when it was all said and done. And
if you're Truman, you got to feel like you stole one.
Absolutely.
And if you're Westside, you feel like you let one get away.
You absolutely did.
You talk about two conflicting emotions on opposite sides of that one. And there's a lot to talk about. We can go back, but I feel like we've beaten the 15-yard kick to death. Let's go to the overtime. Let's start there because this game was tied at 14 after a clutch touchdown by Truman. But we go to the overtimes. Okay, so at that point, Truman gets stopped. Big stop by Westside. But then Westside, all they've got to do is get it in or get a field goal, and they fumble.
Yep.
The regulation ended in a fumble.
Right.
All right, so there's two key fumbles down the stretch. Then Westside gets it back in the second overtime period. Now, that's where the confusion started if you were watching this game. And we said that on there. So Westside gets the ball back because it flip-flops at the end of the second half. So now Westside is going first in the second overtime period. Westside believes that the fumble was somehow negated and that they're still in the first overtime period and all they need is a field goal to win.
Right.
They kicked the field goal, believe they won, convinced me they had won based off of their reaction. But they had not. They had actually just kicked a field goal at the end or at the beginning of the second overtime period.
Right.
And Truman still had a shot to get a touchdown to win. Truman subsequently scored the touchdown to win.
Yep.
This one ends 20-17. Did that sound right, Alex? Because that's the best I can break it down.
I don't think you could have broken it down any better. That's exactly what happened. And Westside should have known just how the game – and I get the confusion. You know, obviously in regulation, you fumble the ball, the other team recovers. You don't get the ball back. But that's what happened here in overtime is they fumbled. Truman recovered. So based on overtime rules, Westside was going to get the ball again. And that was just a major mistake by, I think, their coaching staff and just communication-wise of not knowing exactly how things went down. So, Westside blew a great opportunity there because they got the unsportsmanlike too, had the ball at the 5 to start that second overtime, chose to kick the field goal on second down. And, I honestly thought it was an odd decision, but then I said, maybe they just don't want to risk a fumble again. Maybe we're just going to kick a field goal and hope for the best. But no, I think it was just a lack of communication or lack of knowledge thereof of the rules. And, Westside falling just short. Truman, just seeing the motions from Westside and then the confusion from Truman and then the excitement from Truman after Westside rushed the field, it ended up just being a wild second overtime that was correct at the end, but very confusing.
And I will say this, we're not down on the field. The officials don't have microphones, so there's a lot there. We broke it down for you as best we could and as best we know fit. Some of this in a post-mortem in the morning may be different. We may hear differently. But I want to finish on this note. It's the last thing I want to say. Truman wins this 20-17. A lot of emotions in games like this. Okay, we call the game to the best of our ability, but so do the officials. So do